this is David Villeman, the Cobra. You're listening to the Moto X Pod Show.
This is Michael Mosiman, and you're watching the Moto X Pod Show.
Welcome to the Moto X Pod Show, starring Darkside, his co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
Oh boy, we are back. I don't know if I even remember how to do this. I feel like it's been a month since we've done a show, which I guess it's only been a couple weeks, but it feels like it's been a long time. A lot has happened in the last couple weeks.
It's been 1 week.
We didn't do a show last week because I was out there.
So
did we do a show last week before I left?
No, but I'm saying it's just been 1 week that you haven't done it.
It's 2 full weeks since we've done a show.
I mean, I guess technically you're right.
So it feels like a month.
Okay.
Did we do a show last week?
No.
You sure?
But we did one before your trip.
Man, am I confused. Okay, yeah, that was the week before. So no, then it's okay. Whatever. I'm beyond confused. I feel like it's been a long time. So we didn't do one last week. Yeah, when I got back. That's right. When I got back, we didn't do one. We did the one right before I left. There you go. Yeah, 2 weeks. Okay. Anyway, this is episode 234. Brought to you by Cherubies USA. You guys know for decades, Cherubies USA has been the leader in moto plastic and accessories. For products that fit perfect, look great, and last, Cherubies has what you need. They are a proud sponsor of the Factory KTM team, which is about to go racing this weekend with Tony freaking Cairoli, Dungy, Aaron Plessinger, and I feel like I'm missing one.
What year is it?
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
That sounds like
I feel like somebody else was on the team that I'm not even.
Oh, is it Benny?
No,
I saw him look with
Benny's doing the BB Butler Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Cherubies is on board. You guys know it. Whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, handguards, chain guides, and sliders, or anything else they offer, visit CherubiersUSA.com and support that title sponsor. Follow them on Instagram and let them know you're listening. Fully, man, I'm needing that plastic. We got to get the plastic for the YZ250 soon, buddy. He told me next month. So we got graphics coming from Berm Lords any day now, and we're going to get into all that. Racetech is also on board, our co-title sponsor. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension and modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning go valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed, made in the USA. Racetech also offers state-of-the-art precision engine services and parts to all engine builders. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Checkers and Clay Olson have me hooked up. Going to get into the YZ250 in just a minute, but the suspension will be going out to Clay over at PDR, as a Racetech shop up in Minneapolis, and he's going to get the shock and the forks and coat them and revalve them and everything. Those will go out next week. I appreciate Racetech. Really cool. And my buddy Michael Dean Gage is rebuilding my rear shock from my 06 450 to get it back together, and Racetech is going to hook me up with gold valves for that too.
Went from no bikes to dose bikes.
To ghost bikes, yeah. They still got that YZ125 in a box. One of these days, maybe I'll touch it. Fly Racing's on board. Best gear on the planet. Hit them up. Damon Bradshaw, RJ Hampshire, Zach Osborne, all trust Fly Racing. Visit your local dealership. WPS is obviously the supplier of Fly Racing. Support your local dealers, your local reps for WPS. You can also get X-Brand goggles through WPS. They're a sponsor of the Moto X Pod Show. Works Connection for all your cool bitchin' parts like the Pro Launch Start Device, Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. Use that code MotoXPod20 to save. Torque One Racing, our jerky. Want some snacks, Scotty, for the first outdoor national? Hit up eatourjerky.com. Use promo code MotoXPod21 to save on that.
You gotta have
codes.
You gotta have snacks for.
Hell yeah, I have a cabinet full of our jerky. Berm Lords graphics and jersey ID. So out there in California this weekend, I wore both of my jerseys with Eddie from Iron Maiden in the numbers printed inside the logos, and I had so many people going like, "Holy shit, who did that?" That's Berm Lords, baby. Berm Lords, hit them up. Graphics at bermlords.com.
I love that Iron Maiden thing.
Yeah, I think my next set of gear, I'm gonna do one of the new album covers from them. That's just gonna be my thing. I love that shit inside the numbers. Shan and Adam kill it. Adam's actually gonna pick up my 250 tomorrow from Dallas. But yeah, if you want graphics for your bike, which they're building my new kit for the 250, Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID. Check them out on Instagram. Graphics at bermlords.com is their email if you want to get any information on pricing. Shock Socks on boards, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors for your custom painted helmets, Blood lubricant oil lines. The new Barracuda Blood line is out. Multiple weights, better protection, better performance, and it lasts longer. Promo code MOTOX, all caps, to save. Power Band Racing's on board for you WP guys. True Fusion Sports, recovery and products designed for recovery and performance. I got to hit Derek up. I need some stuff. I'm still in a lot of discomfort from all my riding last weekend out in the high des. And of course, Jason over at grillyourassoff.com. You guys going to do some cooking also for the race before you eat your jerky. Order some Grill Your Ass Off. Use the promo code MotoXPod. They have all the best seasonings and marinades. Get it while you can. The stuff's going to sell out. It's a small business, Texas-based, moto supporting. Go get you some, and obviously he'll restock, but the stuff goes quick because it's good. Okay, this is episode 234. A little rough around the edges here, Scotty, but tonight we got a big show. No pulp last night, so no wrap-up tomorrow. So we're going big tonight. We got Michael Mosiman up. Nick Romano, who just announced today that he's riding all the outdoors for Star Racing. Nick's going to jump on. Tony Alessi's going to come on and talk about Supercross and some things he's got going on at Glen Helen. And Justin Bogle's going to jump on and talk about his outdoor plans. I saw him at Glen Helen when I arrived 2 Thursdays ago. He was out there on the track ripping around, but as soon as I got on the track, he disappeared. He did not want any.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame him.
I passed Joe Shimoda and Cameron McAdoo at least twice.
Why? Like, did you drive by the Pro Circuit tent?
Nope, on the track. On the track. I passed them both. Boy, actually more times than that. I passed them like 4 times because they were at the gate practicing starts. I went by them. A couple times, they were off talking to their mechanics. I went by them. No problem.
Yeah.
Pulled over to the little starting gate that they threw out to practice starts and pulled up next to Cam. And I said, hey, man, you need me to show you the fast lines around here?
Yeah.
He just laughed, obviously, because that was really a stupid statement, and asked if that was the bike I got for the pony cut. And I said, yep. Didn't know he knew about it. He laughed and went on about his business. But yeah, we're going to get into that. It's going to be a good show. And then our buddy Troy Dog, Troy Benjamin, Bird Moto, he's going to jump on, talk about the squad. Grant Harlan's going to race all the outdoors. He's got some things to tell us about. I told him I'd really rather talk to his wife, Ginger Dog, but I don't know that we'll get Ginger on the phone. Scotty, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? I don't know if I remember doing 5 guests on the show. I think we've done 4 a couple times, but
I'm sure you've done 5 guests.
That wasn't even good.
Wasn't a good joke?
No.
I bet somebody laughed.
Yeah, maybe.
Somebody laughed. If TJ's laughing, listening, he laughed.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably still driving, right?
yeah. Actually, I was supposed to call him. Oops. Sorry, TJ.
Oh, 6 guests, 7 guests.
Yeah. We were like, we're just going to go all night. But no, don't want to do that. We got a good show, though. We got 20 minutes or so until our first guest. We got some things we can talk about. Right off the bat, which camera's on? The wide one, or put one on me? Put the one on me real quick.
Yep.
So you guys know that our graphics company is Berm Lords. Shand is my guy. Adam Montoya. Those guys hook me up, take care of us. We want you to use Berm Lords graphics when you do stuff, Jersey ID printing. But while I was out in California, I got my bike. A lot of the Pulp sponsors came together and did stuff for that bike because of their connection with Pulp and their connection with Kiefer. And Decal Works made a kit for the YZ250 that I was supposed to use while I was out there in California. We actually only used the numbers. But inside that kit, they gave me some extras. So I have these Moto X Pod Show logos with the pony. See the pony?
Yeah, those are nice.
So I only have a couple of these. I had a couple. I kind of posted them up on Instagram or Twitter. I can't remember. And I had a couple people request them. I'm gonna probably have 2 or 3 left over for our Moto X Pod Show listeners. Ooh. So on YouTube right now, Scotty,
they're listening.
Let people tell us what they would do to get one of these very limited edition Moto X Pod Show / Pony Pod stickers.
It's a little early to start getting that racing.
Well, you look at them, you pick the best idea, the best funny, whatever. You have to pay attention, obviously. Hopefully you'll catch them.
Okay.
And we'll give one away to YouTube. And then as far as our listeners in the archives that are not watching on YouTube, I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but if you're listening later, send us an email, motoxpodshow@gmail.com, and tell us what you'd be willing to do or give up for one of these bitchin' ass stickers. I appreciate the guys at Decal Works for doing this.
Proof's going to be tough, though.
Huh?
Proof?
Yeah, we may not even take them up on it. I just want
Yeah.
stories. So
Okay, just ideas.
Yeah, I appreciate those guys. They have reached out a number of times, and they're like, "Hey, man, we know you're berm lords, but we appreciate what you do, and we listened to you." They enjoy the content that comes from the pulp stuff that I guess I've been a part of, and they're very friendly. So I thanks to the guys at Decal Works for some of these cool stickers. I actually have. Hang on, let me step away from the mic. I have some dark side ones, also. Some dark side ones that they threw in, and then some number 3s. It kind of really looks more like Eli Tomac. But really, right now, I want to give a couple of these Moto X Pod Show.
I'm surprised we didn't see
Here, do you want one?
I'm surprised they didn't see you riding out at Paula with the number 3 on there. Was like,
I had a few people. Is that Eli Tomac? You're not allowed to ride the number. You can't. If you're amateur, you have to have a 3-digit number.
I was just thinking like more of like, Tomac is riding a 2-stroke this year.
There were some of those on the posts on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, my number 3 has some meaning to me. That's why I keep it. I like it. But okay. Do you want to? So we have the X brand lucid conversation to start this thing off, and we could either talk about the trip to Cali, or we can talk a little bit about nationals and what we think is going to happen.
It's your show, man.
Now you're the co-host. You pick tonight. What are we going to get into?
I don't know. I mean, I could go either way. I feel like
I bet you could. There's 2.
You're on it tonight, man. I feel like the California trip has kind of already been talked about. But so has pre-race outdoor stuff too.
There's been some review shows already. So
here, let's maybe tell like a brief summary of your Cali story, and then we'll see which way the YouTube.
Yeah, I feel like there's some stuff I didn't really get into. So Thursday landing Cali, and drive straight to Kiefer's house, and like I pull in the driveway, and him and Aiden are loading up, and they're like, "Let's go, get in the van."
Yeah.
And there was like no put your shit up. We're going to Glen Helen, 3:00. It's like, oh, super. And he didn't tell me where we were going until I got there. I didn't know where we were going. And I'm thinking the whole way down there, this place is going to be beat to death. It's going to be terrible. It really wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't like Swan gets.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was not as choppy, as I expected it to be. And I had a lot of fun. It took me, for those of you who probably already know, like, he had the ponytail taped to the rear end of the bike.
I saw that.
I didn't want to do that, and I kind of maybe should have done it just for the content, but I wasn't into it. But I went out there, took me a few laps to figure the bike out, had a blast. The bike's so good.
What was your sketchiest moment?
Oh, that was on race day, Paula, race 1. Do you want there really wasn't any sketchy moments at Glen Helen because I was not going very fast.
Yeah,
I was just thinking,
it was sketchiest moment.
That was definitely the first race at Paula. So I rode practice. And there's a double out of a right-hander. Not a big deal at all. Like on my 450, seat bounce every time. I would hit it, no problem.
Yeah.
2-stroke, I wasn't very comfortable. Didn't know the track. It was a little slick during practice. So I never jumped this double. And I got arm pump very quickly. Kiefer had me go out for more practices than I was actually supposed to go out for. Come race time, there was this old dude, high des, like mount. I don't even remember what they call it. Like a high des. You look like he came out of the high des. Just
Spirit
in
Rider.
Black blue jeans, work boots, like bushy ass eyebrows that were like coming out of the helmet.
Nice.
I was like, dude, and he was on a 2-stroke gas. I was like, I have to beat this guy. This is the guy I have to beat.
He went 1-1.
Line's
didn't he?
right up next to me. The first moto, like he if you watch the video on my Instagram, he's the one that like was right next to me and actually got me in the first corner. But I'm side by side with him the whole first lap, and we get to this double out of the right hander, and I go outside. I'm like, fuck it, I'm jumping it.
Yeah.
Haven't jumped it all day. It wasn't that big. I'm hitting it. Case the ever-loving crap out of it and start to whiskey as I'm landing. And there's a huge, like it's a short tabletop, but with a steep face right after it. I'm like, all right, I'm about to launch this YZ to the moon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to die. So I just grabbed clutch and hit the brakes, knowing that the guy behind me is probably about to land on me. And thank God he probably saw me get squirrely and didn't.
Yeah.
So instantly my heart rate was at like 300.
300.
And
you were dead.
About
still holding on to the bike.
3 corners later, there was a right hand that I'll say I was railing it. It was one of my better corners in practice.
Okay.
So I go to the outside like I was in practice, and I go into it fairly fast. And entering this corner, there's 2 big braking bumps that weren't there previously.
Yep.
And the back end kicks up in the air, and I have no brakes. I mean, other than I could grab my front, but I'm already endoing.
Yeah.
And I hit the berm and went flying over the berm. Thank God it was nice and soft, and it was very, very soft impact. But then, that was it. I was done. My heart rate had spiked. I had to pick the bike up, start the bike, and I was just absolutely exhausted. So that probably 2.5, 3 minutes was by far the sketchiest. And like Chris was like, yeah, after that moto, I thought you were going to be terrible. And thankfully, my goal the second moto was probably not to even do but 1 lap. I just wanted to get a good start. But once I got the good start, I was like, all right, I'm going to go. And it turned out better. But that was rough.
Yeah, that's nothing like a good race, a first race in a couple of years.
I was like, all right, I'm going to literally get hurt the first lap of my first race back is what I thought. It was not good.
Jake wanted to know how the hot tub view was.
Hot tub was pretty good. Yeah, hot tub was pretty good. I mean, Heather was in there a few times. That's a good view. You know, I mean, other than that, it was Chris and Aiden and a couple other buddies, Greg. And yeah, but I mean, I assume he's asking about Heather because
I just read the questions. I'm not making any assumptions.
Heather was by far the best looking thing all weekend.
What's I'm just trying to think of like random questions to ask about your trip. So what's the goofiest / weirdest thing Kiefer did?
Get butt ass naked in the rocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was the most awkward thing I think I've ever been around in my life. Like literally, I was
why is it that bad? It's no different than just like locker room showers.
That's not exactly comfortable either. I didn't
say it was comfortable, but I mean,
okay. So to retell that story, like me and Aiden were swimming in the bottom pool of the little stream,
right? And
there's huge rocks, and we just kept hearing woo, woo. I'm like, I think they want us to come up there. And sure enough, we climb over a rock, and they are literally, him and Greg are laying on their backs on this big rock, spread eagle, like leg spread.
That is kind of weird.
Balls and bush out. What's up, dude? And I'm like, oh God, yeah, they're naked.
They're from the Des, man.
Everywhere but at them, and they're doing everything they can to get me to talk to them. So I'm looking away, in the opposite direction. I'm looking over their head, and there's like, and they think it's perfectly fine. Like that's nothing abnormal. You said, well, I don't wear boxers when I ride, which that's weird. Put some fucking boxers on, Kiefer. Sorry about my language. But yeah, I was super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That was a gnarly day, man. I forgot how hard riding in the desert is.
It's long. Those long rides will really.
Well, it felt really long. Chris is like, it wasn't that long, but it's like there's so much legwork.
It's not a 15-minute moto. No,
dude, that first hill that he talked about that I couldn't get up. He said, but I did get up on the third try. That thing had to be 700 feet long, and it's 45-degree angle. Like when I didn't make it, it was hard to stand and turn the bike around.
Yeah,
and then going down that thing. And back brake was locked the whole time, and it's doing nothing because it's just sliding through the silt.
Yeah.
It's all front brake and trying to use some engine braking.
That two-strokes don't have.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was shifting up, and then it would stall, and I was like, oh, shit, and I haven't done anything like that since I was a kid, and I don't know that I've ever climbed a hill that tall. And not only was it tall, like the one they went up where I caught my finger on the bush with the thorn.
Yeah.
Was a little bit steeper, but so I went back to where it looked safer, but it was way longer. And then I didn't know halfway up it made a right, and you had to go in between 2 rocks, and then you had to go left in between 2 rocks.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't make it the first couple times. Like the first time when I got to the rocks, I panicked.
Yeah,
and then the second time I got past the rocks, and I probably went another 150 feet. It felt like, and then I was like, okay, I'm about to be on the top. And they say when you get to the top, you got to let off because you hit a road. You come out on a road, and there's a wall right behind it of more. And if you're going too fast, you'll just plow into the cliff, basically.
Yeah.
So I let off, and then I realized I was still like 80 feet, 100 feet from the end. It wasn't the top.
Yeah.
So then I had to start over again.
They're just waiting up there like...
Well, Kiefer had come back down, and Greg was trying to make it up too. He didn't make it the first couple times. But I think he was I mean, it was partly because of me. But then Kiefer came down and said, well, let's just go another way. And I was like, dude, give me one more shot. I was not going to be okay if I didn't make it.
Yeah.
So the next time I just went faster and like worked the clutch more. But yeah, I was exhausted because I don't know how many times, I'd say at least 10 times, I dumped the bike over in the sand and had to pick the bike up on the sand on a hill and try to turn it around, manhandle it around. And dude, it just exhausted me.
Dude, it's not like you're out there and you're trying to do something like that. And you know, you're not just at a track where like you can like, oh, there's people around with with phones and stuff they can call. No, like if you mess up, like you're into some trouble. Yeah. And like that, I did one lap out of like a cross country course thing, and like that was it wasn't even anything crazy, and it still is like so humbling because like I just don't do that kind of riding. Right. Yeah. And so like you're trying to like
my butt.
And you're trying to like nut up or shut up in front of Kiefer and all of them. So it's like you're like,
yeah, I did.
Adrenaline was probably going through the roof.
They would go over a ridge. You know, Kiefer was leading, then Aiden, then me, then Greg behind me. And like Kiefer would go over a ridge, and because I was taking longer, we'd come to the top of the ridge and they'd be gone.
Yeah.
He'd be over like 2 more ridges, and the trails go 3 or 4 different ways. I'm like, I don't even know
which way.
You'd have to kill the bike and listen for the sound and then take off again, and they'd wait. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. And it wasn't all the time, but I held him up. Obviously.
Well, yeah. But that's like Kiefer's riding in his backyard, though.
I will tell you, that's some of the most fun riding I've done. I want to do it again. Like we only got a couple minutes. I really want to move to the area where he's at.
Yeah.
Like it was hot, but at night it was cool. It felt good. It wasn't humid. There's just like I'm at home in the desert. I lived out near there in Barstow for 3 or 4 years before we moved here. That's really where I kind of started riding and learning to ride, was in the desert a little bit. And when I drive down the interstate and I just see desert, I'm like, dude, I just want to go ride.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see barren wasteland. I see like, this is bitching.
Yeah.
This looks cool. I like the desert. I like being out here. When you're up in the mountains, it's just fucking cool. And you find this like the swimming area, like a little oasis.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing to do like that.
Yeah,
like
it's so cool,
here.
man. And like just sitting out at Kiefer's house at night in the jacuzzi, and their house the back of their house overlooks this little valley. And I was like, dude, it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
I want to move. I really do. I don't think it's going to happen, but
grass is always greener on the other side.
The trip was,
or the desert's
unreal.
always brighter on the other side.
Yeah, there's no grass. Yeah, it was an unreal trip. I actually typed up something last night that I was going to send in to Pulp to put up on his website, kind of about, it talks a little bit about that stuff, but we don't have much more time. We got to get to Michael Mosiman. But yeah, it was a fantastic trip. The bike is awesome. I cannot wait to get it home, which that'll be by this weekend. It'll be here.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go do some riding this weekend somewhere.
No, man, that's such a cool opportunity. And then and so did you feel like closer with Kiefer now?
Yeah, man. I always felt pretty close with the guy, but yeah, they made me feel like family, man. I mean, and the way he woke me up, if you guys listen to Pulp, for the race Sunday morning was awesome.
Oh, he played he played one of your
Tempest Tool.
Tempest,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it freaked me out because I was like, my phone's ringing.
Yeah.
What is going on? And like, why is it out in another room? And I couldn't like wrap my brain around what the hell was going on. And it finally hit me. He set the boom bottle up. But yeah, I felt really close, man. I mean, they bust a lot of balls. Him and Heather are brutal.
That was probably nonstop.
Oh, pretty much. But good times, man. It's really almost impossible to get into all the details of the trip. A lot of fun. They paid for so much. They took care of almost everything.
Really?
I bought one meal, but for the most part, they were just, nope, it's your weekend, Dark Side. We're taking care of you. You get everything. Heather got up, made me breakfast, which she doesn't do for even them because they don't really eat breakfast. I got a shout out to Danny at Alpine Star. My Tech 10s showed up at Kiefer's house. Like, she just sent me a pair of Tech 10s, so because I didn't have matching boots for my gear. So yeah, I got a brand new pair of boots thanks to Danny at Alpine Stars. The Fast Company bars that Kiefer hooked me up with were pretty cool. They have vibration mounts on the bars, so they sort of less vibration.
I have those. It's nice.
I liked them. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. I don't know that I'm going to leave them on there, but
mine are like just like where the clamps lock in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got like a little rubber.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a little more older of a system,
Maybe.
but I definitely noticed a difference. It definitely makes it softer feel.
A lot of cool stuff. The Michelin Starcross 6s were awesome. I mean, look, I almost pulled a whole shot.
You did. You came, yeah, like I saw that. I watched your video a couple of times, and you like foot was out, inside rut. I saw like you were like, okay, I can either come out of this in 8th or 3rd, and I'm just gonna drop the clutch and go.
I got a little lucky, I think, but it felt good.
You got that inside line though. I can't believe that was that open.
Yeah,
you got there quick enough.
Worked my way into it, and I think it was a little bit of luck, but it's all right. I'll take it.
How many people were in that class?
I think 17 or 18. Because I think I went like 7. I forget now. Like 17, 9 for 10th. I don't even remember anymore.
I think something
like that. So I mean, the first moto, I think I beat one guy.
Was it like a qualifying race?
Yeah, for Mammoth. That's what they're trying to get me to come back for Mammoth in like 3 weeks.
But you didn't.
I'm like, dude, I don't really have the money to do that.
Well, did you even qualify?
Yeah, took that because I got 10th. I took the top 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, come on out. And I was like, dude, you see how out of shape I am? Can you imagine me up at fucking elevation in the mountains? No way.
No way.
So all right, let's take a commercial break. Let's come back with Michael Mosiman. We'll be right back.
Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. I cannot complain. We still got to get this. We got to get TJ to come over and do those commercials this weekend. His commercial for Blood.
Yeah.
And then I got to get fully to do one for Cherries, which I've been telling him we're going to do it. I just haven't. Let's see. Moses is ready.
Yo.
What up, Michael Mosiman?
What's going on?
Not a lot. You ready to do this?
Let me put on some headphones.
Okay. We'll allow it. Just let us know when you're ready.
I got you.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, hang tight. I'm going to hit record and I'll introduce you. Here we go. All right, first up tonight, brought to you by Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipps' goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. Products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start Device, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine you not going to worksconnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save at worksconnection.com. Tonight, Works Connection brings us the one and only Michael Mosiman. What's up, buddy?
Oh, what's going on?
Not much, man. Excited to talk to you. Looking forward to Nationals kicking off this weekend. Are you feeling ready to go?
I'm feeling ready. I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Is the transition from Supercross to outdoors, you kind of have an extra week now than I think we used to, but is that transition easy? The fitness is a little different. Obviously, bike setups, everything's different, right? I mean, is it something that you're just used to at this point?
It's something you get used to for sure, but it's not an easy transition just because, I mean, neither of them are easy, you know, and outdoors specifically, just going into the long motos and the brutal days, it's a little different. So, and the fast speeds too. That's the biggest thing, getting your depth perception right for going that fast again. So those are the main things.
Do you have a preference? Like if you were going to do Supercross only or outdoor only, do you have a favorite?
I would probably do Supercross only.
That's kind of sad. Like, I think most people would, and I feel bad sometimes. Like when I think about Davey, like I know Davey Coombs hears this, right? He eats, breathes, and sleeps motocross. It's the baby. It's the original. It's the heart and soul of the sport. But yeah, man.
It's awesome. It's just brutal. I mean, it is just absolutely brutal. There's no way around it. And when the days get hot and the preparation's no joke, it's a lot. And so, it's hard on the body, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, A to Z, you just, dude. I mean, on an average, race, you will have welts all over your body,
Yeah.
just from the roost, and it's like, ah, sweet. I think one time, everyone carries around the watches and stuff, and like, I think one time I had like a 400% like day or whatever. It's like
Jeez.
activity is like, just yeah. So outdoors is brutal to where it's like, once you get Supercross down and you can do it and you can be like safe, then it's like, oh, I could do this all day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is easy. And, and that's not easy either, but anyways.
It's a little different rhythm, right? Yeah. It's a lot of timing and rhythm. And yeah, I'm sure, what do you know, like on average, the difference in heart rate from outdoors to indoors? Is there much difference?
Outdoors is slightly lower.
Really?
Yep. But it just depends. Honestly, I can get my heart rate, both to pretty close.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, honestly, you can get both. I think outdoors lends itself towards being not as intense, but just because, in Supercross you're trying to pump the jumps and it's
that makes sense.
It's a lot of stuff going on really fast,
But you have to do it longer though.
Right.
So it's like a little lower rate, but you have to hold that for a longer time.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's like maybe 2 beats. Like I've seen everything. So, it's, and maybe early in the race, it's like, 186, 187. And then, by the end of the race, 193 or something.
Yeah. I was just telling Scotty, I was out in California 2 weeks ago and I raced a Mammoth qualifier at Mammoth. And I think there was a moment where my heart rate probably hit about 300, where I hadn't been on a 2-stroke in a long time, made a little mistake, got a little whiskey. And, it was like, ooh, I'm not in shape for this stuff, Michael. I have zero talent almost, and I am not in shape. And I was really lucky to walk away from that thing.
Dang. Yeah. No, being in shape it
helps.
Means something.
Yeah.
I've had a couple 300 beats per minute times myself. So. Well,
Kiefer taught me some exercises while I was out there that he learned when he went out there to Alton's place for that, when all the media went out, and he taught me 4 exercises that I have implemented. I actually cleaned out one of my rooms that was storage, and I've been working out for since I got back from California. So I'm trying.
Wow. There you go. That's awesome.
I'm gonna make my pro debut in 23, Mo. So you better watch out.
Better watch out, man.
Yeah.
Blue Crew.
Everyone's coming back.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's true. Right. Yeah. Alessi or Dungy's back. Dark Side is gonna be out. Yeah. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. So. So man, I just I've kind of always admired how much of like a fighter you are and determined you are to, when you face adversity, you really bounce back from it and are stronger for it. And you kind of had some ups and downs this season, so I just kind of want to know how you stay that determined, and then how nice does it feel to kind of have a fresh start this weekend?
Oh man, that's a really good compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if a lot of people would say that, but I would say that I just learn around every corner, and and this year I think I've really learned even more than ever before. As I work on my mental game, it's like I'm learning stuff that's so like, I don't know, niche as the word, I guess. And where it's like so specific and so small that I'm like I learned in the past little bit, like I was at Glen Helen, and it was like at the bottom, it wasn't a 180, it was a 90. And I just learned that at the bottom of hills, when like your suspension's like dealing with all the G-forces, like I want to turn as little as possible there. And a lot of times, like in the main line, it was like coming across the bottom at the bottom of the hill.
Yep.
And I was cutting it off because I was like, I don't want to turn right there because it doesn't feel as trustworthy. And so little things like that. So anyways, I'm just to illustrate the point that I'm always learning, and I'm still learning. And you don't really have, you have winning performances and learning performances.
Oh, I like that.
And so we learn from the learning performances and turn them into winning performances over time. But I think that's really just the key is I don't get down on myself, and I'm not focusing on, the loss, but I'm trying to build on what I can build on. And I think I don't beat myself up too much.
Right.
A lot of guys, it's like, I kind of got over that. It's like a lot of times, a lot of guys will beat themselves up a lot. And the more you beat yourself up, like the less that like the team feels like they need to,
Mm.
and it's almost like a, protection mechanism that we'll use. But it's like when you just get over that and it's like, all right, let me take the emotion out of it. And so let me just simply learn, because for me to sit here and throw a fit isn't really going to get us anywhere. So that's been my approach.
Yeah, I've said for years, since I've kind of gotten to know you a little bit, like your outlook, you're different, you're wired differently than a lot of the other racers, and that's something I'm always impressed by. Is, we talked about it, right? Your thinking game and how you look at things, and I found it so interesting this year with you spending more time with Justin Barcia, and your personality. When I think of you, I don't think you and Barcia would match in any way whatsoever, but you being able to ride with him and take things, and and maybe be more aggressive at times when you need to. I love how you can absorb stuff from different people and implement them and still be the same guy, though. The same smart guy, same intelligent racer, but then you see a little bit more aggression at times when you need it. And I just love watching the evolution of Michael Mosiman over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That. It's definitely been a process, and process is not done. So
right, yeah. Well, how do you feel about your Supercross season as a whole now that it's over? I mean, 5 podiums, I think. You got a win in San Diego. Not what you wanted, but I think it was a better season for you, just the way you raced overall. I think, like I said, I think it's been an evolution. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. It was my best season yet, and so we're going to celebrate that. Personal best. Are you kidding me? It's like, and, I mean, it's like, it's also cool because I'm just at a level where it's like, there's still only up to go. You know what I mean? Like, right. I feel like how I performed, like I can do that every year. You know what I mean? And if that's my base and I'm building off that next year, we're in great shape. I think the year before I got like 6th in the championship or something. So, and missed a couple races. Like, it was the first one in a little bit that I hadn't missed any. And through it, I think 2 different times within the season I got sick. And I broke my hand at one of the rounds. And like, there's just, a lot of different variables and things to where, all in all things considered, like, dang, like we accomplished a lot, and I think there's a lot to build on, and, I led quite a bit of laps and, rode up front and was in that position and got a lot of good starts. And another thing is, it's like, the way I look at it would have been, 2 wins at least, go to Seattle, without the rear rotor. I think that was my race to lose.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, I just put myself in really good position, a lot of times. And, I'm proud of how I raced, and looking forward to continue to build on it and enjoy it now and stuff. So
I dig it.
So, Dark Side kind of mentioned your relationship with Barcia, and I had a question in my notes about how kind of your personalities matched up, and just kind of talk about like maybe what you like, how y'all match together, and kind of how y'all's relationship goes. Yeah.
Hey, question. What do you guys see? What do you guys see in our relationship?
I think of like,
anything?
Well, I think that like, they talk about Barcia as like that consistency guy, but he's kind of wild child at the same time. And I feel like y'all are kind of like the yin to each other's yang kind of thing. Like you're younger, kind of a similar version, but the opposite at the same time. And so kind of like, that's how I see it.
What I see, and this is an outsider, right? I don't know Justin very well, right? And I probably don't know you very well. I just know what I think I know. And when I see some of the decisions Justin makes, sometimes I think, man, he didn't think that out very well. Like he just goes full bore and just whatever happens, happens. That may not be the case, but with you, I feel it's a complete opposite. Like I think you're thinking like your chess match style, like 3 steps ahead. So I see it very differently. But then I also see the personal side where I hear the stories and I've seen the goofiness of Justin and Will in the truck. And I'm thinking some of these stories I hear, like I bet Mose is very uncomfortable at times with some of the humor. So I kind of I wonder how that goes.
I thought that.
Yeah, no.
But I don't. But I think he handles it.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah, definitely constantly. That's constantly a thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm just shaking my head and they're just, it's like a whole thing. Like, if they get me to like crack up, like to actually laugh at one of their like terrible jokes, that are just their vulgarness.
Yes.
Yeah, if they get me to laugh at it, that's like a win for them. But you know what? I think I impressed myself about how little I laughed at some of the stuff.
What about? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Do you finish?
And I don't know. We have a good time, and it's like tricky because we're both outgoing, kind of fun loving. We're both a little bit nuts, and I think the other thing that we both get along really well because we're both men, and if we ever have a disagreement or whatever, like we both stand our ground, but we're men and we can like get over it, and like he pushes me really hard, like on the track, and because I mean, dude, when Justin Parsons behind you, like that's that's a little different. And I remember one time like I was behind him and dude, I pushed him a lot this year, all the way, kind of throughout the year, and still am. And he needs it from me. And he hasn't had, something like that, in a while. And so, when I'm on him, and one time I came into the corner and like revved it at him like he does. And he was like, what are you doing? Like he afterwards, he's like, what are you doing? Like you can't do that. Like, don't come in and rev at me. Just come in and like take the spot. And he's like, that's my move. Like you can't use my move against me. I was like,
it's trademarked.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We talked about it, and I think I've been really good for him, and just like the whole thing kind of challenging him every day. And, I show up and I'm just kind of the same guy and consistent. And that was really good, especially in our off season. And, we've had a little outdoor off season now, and, I don't know. So okay, I'll tell a story.
All right, let's do it.
So last year before outdoors, we're in like the prep period, and he started, we're doing a moto, and we were both like shredding our butts off. I don't know where Pierce was. He wasn't around. But we are both like we're hammering down. We're at Glen Helen, and I think it was like a rented day or something. And we're just going nuts. And then he catches me from like, I don't know, 5 seconds back, 7 seconds back or something. He caught me from a ways, with, Glen Helen 450 advantage, but he was riding really good. Outdoors, he shreds. So, and anyways, and then I was holding him off, and I was holding him off, and I was holding him off. And he passed me with like 1 or 2 corners left, and then he, and it just crushed me. And he celebrated super big off the finish line, and it was a thing. But it was a great moto for me, and it was a great moto for him, but it was just like a crushing blow, right?
Yeah. So
this year we're back at Glen Helen. I think it was another, I don't know if it's a private day or not. And this time he pulled in like pretty close behind me, like really close. So he didn't really have to catch me. He was just there. And we go 30+2 and just I'm shredding, he's shredding, and I'm holding him off the whole time, and it wasn't really until like the last, I don't know, 10 minutes that he was really on me. And with about 4 laps to go, I remember I was just like, I just let go, and I was like, okay, if he passes me, he passes me. Great, that's awesome for him. But I'm gonna just focus on me and doing everything I need to do right. And I just kind of let go of like essentially worrying about if he passed me or not. And so then, and it was funny because then the next like 5 corners, he stuck a wheel in twice, and it was like, the heart rate's raising, and I'm like, nope, it's fine. If he passes me and I'm riding as good as I am, I can't do anything about it. Like, I'm going ham. So anyways, then I survived the initial storm, and like a lap or 2 later, he's got kind of a line on me, and he goes in for a pass, but I'd covered it, and he makes a little bit of bobble. I knew I had 2 laps left in the moto, and I was like, all right, I am not letting this happen like it did last year. Like, I got to make this happen. And so I just like dropped the hammer, and like, I was like, all right, he just made a mistake. I need to let him not catch me so that I can run my own lines. I'm going to focus on me. I don't care. He will not pass me. I'm going. I'm just going to take off. And I did, and I got my pace down, and then over the same jump that he celebrated big in front, I went off it, did a big fist bump, and then like pulled off, and he went over the jump after me and like, flipped me off just for fun. and then like he went around the turn and he pulled off, and we kind of debriefed. And I go, is that too much? And he's like, no, man, I love it. And he's like, oh, that's so good. And he had kind of been chasing his tail a little bit, testing. And so for him to like, he found the bike, it felt good. So then he just hopped in on our moto. And he was like, it was so good for him and for everyone, for the team, for everyone, that like I was there doing motos and I could push him to that level, because no doubt he was, we were both like on the limit of what the track would give, and just really, really racing good. So
I love it. That's awesome.
That's kind of story. So that's kind of like the dynamic, and there's times where I got to close my ears or look away, but there's also times where I'm instigating, and
I like it.
And I find that I'm kind of like, there's like the saying, it's like, don't be a thermometer, be a thermostat.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't just check the temperature in the room, like be the one who changes it and guides it. And so like a lot of times when like he's like being chill or like off, or Pierce is whatever, then I'm like trying to lift the vibe and kind of like mess with people and, get people, engaged or whatever in conversation. And then when, he's going nuts and Pierce is, being wild too, and Will's just, being Will, then I'm like, then I kind of go to the back seat, and I'm like, all right, I just need to like, all right, I'm like, chill out, guys.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So it's a dynamic, but it's been a good one for both, and I think between Pierce and I and our youth, we've brought a lot of fun into the program, which I think is really helped Justin's career be, I think, longer and healthier, and I think played a huge part in the success he had in Supercross.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun over there at that team. That's I mean, with Will walking around in his Daisy Dukes and crop tops, and
that's
Justin getting naked in toolboxes apparently, and good stuff. Go ahead, Scotty.
Well, you kind of answered almost pretty much just answered a question I had for you. So it's like, you can test a bike, you can test your body and figure out where your heart rate's at, all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of hard to test pressure, like especially race situation. So, you just told us that story about Barsha. Is that really like you kind of have to have a guy like that on the same level as you to do that? Do you find any other way that you can prepare for that kind of pressure, or is it pretty much just if you have a situation like that?
That's the best one for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best one to simulate it, right? To get like real reps. And it's got to matter to you, and you can't pull off. Like in practice, when someone catches you, it's like, it's hard to just stick in it, and it's hard, not to make any mistakes and just stay committed. And, and so, but yeah, I would say for sure he's helped me in that aspect. And, there was a lot of times before the Supercross season where, I had him right on me for, a long time, or even Pierce freaking shreds too. And, he'd be right on me. And I got a lot of reps where, when San Diego happened and I was leading, there was one point with like, I don't know, 1/3 left in the race or something. I made a pretty good sized mistake. And I remember the next corner thinking, I was like, oh, I bet Hunter thinks like, oh man, he's like probably smells blood because I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, I'm totally fine. Like, and so like, I'm like, oh, he probably thinks that like things are gonna fall apart now. But I'm just like managing this from the front, and because I had those reps, and I already had, the mental kind of rehearsal and the mental headspace to know that, all right, when I make a mistake, I do this, and I just reset right there. Like, all right, great, next steps. Like, what are we doing? And you just kind of forget about it, and you don't carry it with you. And so,
yeah, Hunter's good, but he's not Barsha on a 450.
No. Mose, I got one. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I got one more question before we let you go. And this is like, we do this segment sometimes when it's just me and Scotty and TJ, our other co-hosts, at the end, and it's like a general question type thing. So my blood lubricants cross-rutted question for you. I think I feel like you're gonna have an interesting answer. If you could time travel anywhere, any time frame of the history of the world, where would you time travel to?
I got to go to like first century Palestine, hang out with Jesus.
I had a feeling that was where you're going to go. Yeah.
Come on. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, and the crazy thing is too, it's like when you read the Bible, like his disciples didn't even fully understand who he was, while he was walking this earth.
Right.
And so it's like, if you could time travel back then it's funny. I have like the foresight that like, it wasn't his time. I don't know. It'd just be a whole deal.
Yeah, but that's still cool though.
That this would have been a crazy time, and I think all of history kind of changed, right? The calendar started then, and that like hospitals, schools, all that stuff was like not popular or even like going to be popular. It was like after Christ came, it's like people began having actually a heart for that. And I think the world was, as a whole, made a better place, even though
not
necessarily everyone necessarily everyone accepted him, but
they still don't, right?
So,
but
yeah. So
all right.
Yeah. Anyways, I know that's like a different answer.
No, that's good. That's good.
No, I like that a lot, man. I really do.
All right, man. So we're gonna let you go real quick. Give me your prediction for Paula, man. Do you win? Where do you feel like I know you don't. I think you're not the type of guy that wants to, give a goal.
My
like that.
Paula prediction?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to win Paula.
Yep.
I really do. It happens a lot where the guy who wins the first round just takes off with it.
Sure.
And I think that would be a big boost just to my season, and start me off on the right foot. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going for the win, but which is, I think, a different mentality, because usually it's like, oh, survive the first round.
right.
But also, that's in the back of my head. It's the first round, and everyone's kind of getting a feel for where they're at. But I think I would rather not, say a place, and I would just say I want to have a winning performance, but that doesn't necessarily mean I win. If that makes sense, it's like I want to perform absolutely great on my end, and wherever I finish is where I finish. But I know that if I control the things that I can control, and I control my race, then I'll be in a really good spot. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. We're just a few days away. Look forward to. I'll be watching this one on TV. But
hey, who wins, Dungey and Cairoli? I
think Cairoli, man. Although it sounds like he just kind of chilled today and was figuring things out. So, but I'm gonna go Cairoli, man. That's who I picked a couple weeks ago.
Do we have like a minute?
I mean, we had like 2 minutes before we're supposed to get Romano on, but he can wait. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, so I've been watching. I got Mav TV Plus. I've been watching like 2014, I think.
Okay.
All right. So would you say that Roxon was faster than he is now, right?
Ooh, I don't know. That's hard to say.
Roxon was.
Go ahead. I'll let you answer.
He was just running away with everybody. So and like Tomac was run with them. Kennard and Stewart are right in there. Like if Dungey can hold some of that speed, like I don't think that speed has changed that much. And if he can somehow find that same speed, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, if McGrath could come back and somehow find that speed.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I've just been watching it, and it's been like I'm like, dude, I don't.
If anybody can find that speed.
Well, here's the thing: I can't imagine Ryan Dungey comes out to the first 5 rounds, he's just like 7th place. Like I feel like he will figure it out at some point. Like,
yeah.
Ryan Dungey's not going to sit around in 7th place. That's just not who he is, and he's not going to lay down and take it like that. To where it's like, at some point he'll put enough solutions in place to fix whatever problems arise and get to where he wants to be. Is my perspective.
I agree, but I'm going to go Cairoli over Dungey this weekend.
First round, yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Is Cairoli going to race them all?
He hasn't confirmed. He's definitely doing the first 2, and he told Mathis a couple weeks ago that he would like to do them all, but there's a lot of factors in play. He wants to travel to all the tracks in an RV, I think he said, with the wife and see everything. I think he ends up doing them all.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If he goes like 4, 2, 3, 1, yeah, he's in. Yeah.
But I also don't know crap because I picked Dylan Ferrandis to win the 450 Supercross Championship, and I'm wrong sometimes. So.
Right on.
All right, man. Hey, thank you so much for having time for us, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. We'll talk to you real soon.
All
right. See you, bud. All right. We appreciate Michael Mosiman coming on. He is always one of my favorite people to talk to. Great guest. I think good things are going to continue to happen for him. He's getting better and better, and we're going to see bigger and better things out of him. Take our second commercial break. We'll be right back with Nick Romano.
Yeah, I mean, he's really cool.
Mose?
Yeah. He's so humbled.
Good person.
Someone called him Poodle Jesus.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Let's get Romano
on. Hello.
What's up, Nick?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. You ready to get this thing rolling?
Yes, sir.
All right, just so you know, I've got my co-host Scotty in studio with me, and we are live on YouTube, so we may get some listener questions here in just a second.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we're back from our second commercial break. Next up, he's a rookie this year, man. We just saw on Instagram today that he is going to race all the outdoor nationals. This adds an extra little what's the word I'm looking for, Scotty? A fire, something
Flare.
to the fire, right? Flare to the fire. Nick Romano, Star Yamaha's Nick Romano joins us. Dude, your post today got me more fired up than probably anything I've seen in a week or so.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because, I mean, dude, obviously you're one of the, the expectations are high for a guy like yourself. I mean, I think, 10 major championships last year, amateur rider of the year last year, crushing it at Minios. Like, I mean, there are a lot of expectations on your shoulders. Those probably aren't necessarily, I don't know what Bobby expects out of you this year, but, I mean, this is a learning year. But you have the talent to go out and probably win, or damn sure podium.
Yeah, no, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long time coming for sure. I mean, yeah, like you said, last year I had a really good year. I think I won a title at least at every major I raced, so that was awesome. And then we had to end the year off at Minios, moved up to A class, and yeah, I had a fantastic week there. I think I won every title except one. And actually at the race, Bobby, called me in for a meeting at the end of the week and was like, "Hey, like we're gonna put you on a pro bike here soon." And actually, I got on Supercross after Minios and was just riding a little bit. And then actually, I was doing so good on Supercross that he was like, "Hey, let's try and do some East Coast rounds." So I was like, "All right." And then late December, we had a pretty big get off. I'm not gonna say what happened, but
okay,
yeah, I was out for about a month and a half, 2 months. So yeah, that kind of put me back. So then after that, kind of just healed up and then really took my time getting back into it. I think, after that was kind of, all right, let's do outdoors and focus on that. So yeah, it's definitely been made up that, I'm going to be a pro guy for a little bit now, I guess you could say. But yeah, no, it's been awesome. Like training at the farm and, with all the guys and, our trainer Swanee, it's been awesome. We've been putting a lot of work, like I've been on outdoors more than all these guys, so it's been a minute, and yeah, I've just been kind of cruising, laying low, and yeah, here we are.
What is it like riding with so many talented riders? I mean, that's kind of a lame question, but when you have all the guys that are on Star Yamaha, the amount of talent, including the 450 guys like Eli, like, are you just learning something every day? Are you going, oh wow, like this is unbelievable? Like, what is it? Just what are you absorbing from those guys?
I don't know really, like I'm with them every day, it's like I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
It's been like that for the past 2 years, but honestly thinking about it now, it's just like the pace that they ride at, like every single day. Like you show up on a Friday and you're smoked from the week and like nothing changes, they're all still hammering. So definitely that, and just like really everything, like working out and seeing how they recover and eat, because like I just turned 17, like I want to eat whatever I want, right? Like I want to go to In-N-Out later, but
yeah,
I
boy.
can't. So yeah, no, just like dieting and recovery and just the little things that like I know about or I knew about, but just having to do them much more, eat better, kind of in that case. So yeah, a little bit of everything, I'd say.
I would say the one reason, and it's not lack of talent, that I couldn't go pro is I couldn't eat In-N-Out enough. Like that's it. It's definitely Scotty. It's not the lack of talent.
Yeah,
right?
that has nothing to do with it.
We saw that at Paula a couple weeks ago.
It's pure talent, pouring talent.
It's In-N-Out though. I'm not giving up my ice cream, and I'm not giving up my steak. No way, can't do it. Not even for a multi-million-dollar contract.
Yeah, thanks, Carmichael.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's tough for sure.
So I kind of had a similar question about being with arguably, which is probably considered one of the best teams right now, best bike, especially in your class.
Blue Crew, baby.
Yeah, like which one of those guys have you learned the most from, and then maybe or kind of taken you under their wing a little bit? Or is it just kind of a collective thing that y'all are just kind of all in on the same goal?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of more of a collective thing. Like, obviously, we all want to be the best that we can be. I guess you could say maybe J Coop, honestly. Like, we were both from New York. We grew up riding literally the same exact tracks. Like, we had this one sand pit back home that only me and him knew about. So, like, obviously he's way older than me, but, he had 2 younger brothers and stuff like that we rode
He's so
with.
old.
He's not, what is he, 20, 23,
yeah,
24?
I'm laughing because I'm 46, so he's way older than me.
Yeah, but
anyway.
yeah, I guess you could say J Coop really.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, but for the most part, like it's, we're all trying to do the same thing, and that's eventually win, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned a minute ago recovery and watching those guys, how they deal with recovery. And that's one of those things. There's a couple of things I hear about from like rookies a lot. And they're like, the pace, like you're used to having one or two guys that are at your level, and most of the other guys are pretty far off. And once you get to the pro level, everybody's at your level or above it, and they can maintain that intensity for the entire moto or the entire super, main event or whatever it may be, whatever we're racing, but then also learning about your body and the recovery. Those are the two things, the intensity and learning to take care of your body to recover during the week while also maintaining what you need to do. Those are the two most difficult things. But I think obviously with your team, you have the right people in place to figure that out. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, like I said, recoveries are actually a really big thing. Like I used to, kind of put it off and, I'd ride, go golfing, whatever the case would be. And I kind of cooled down with that, just realizing like, it's summer, starting to heat up. Florida, dude, the humidity is crazy. So you're always smoked. But like that. Yeah, like you said, like amateurs, there's 1, 2, maybe 3 guys that like, all right, you're going to show up at a race and like, they're going to be there, whatever, But yeah, like today we rode press day and like, I mean, I'm not quite nervous yet, but just like lining up on the start, like before the first session, I was like, dude, like the whole star team, whole pro circuit team, Husky, KTM, like it's crazy how many guys there are that are so fast and that could win. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Really my main goal is just to be at every round, all 12 and learn as much as I can. Obviously, like, if I can ride like I know how to and everything's working and I'm gelling, I definitely bound to do good, but you gotta take it step by step and see how it goes.
Absolutely. That's smart.
Yeah, that's kind of, where I was going to go with the conversation. It was, there's kind of been a conception of now in our sport where, you win a bunch of the amateur titles, and because of guys like Stewart and Poto and Carmichael, they came in and they just started racking off wins right away. I feel like every guy that wears that, top amateur crown kind of comes in with those expectations. And, you kind of mentioned just trying to learn and be there for all of them. But like, what's, what other difficulties do you find to find that balance of, hey, I'm young, I've got to learn. There's a lot of guys that have a lot more experience than I do, but at the same time, I'm ready to go. Let's go win, So like, just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, you obviously want to go there and be the guy and, so young, like all those legends have done. That'd be awesome. Right. But I mean, in reality, like you gotta learn and, take away all the positives. Like, obviously I want to go out and 1-1, like, dude, that'd be insane. But, like, I don't know where I stack up against these guys. So it's actually funny because I had a talk with with Gareth, my trainer, the other day, and he was like, dude, just this year, like, go out and enjoy it because, it's going to go by quick and, you're not going to be, just out there riding with no, pressure on you or, like, hey, you got to win. Like, go out and learn and, see where it takes you. But, no, I mean, obviously I want to do that, but, I'm so competitive. Like, I want to go out and win, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
That's how it goes. So, but yeah, I mean, really, I think watching, the past few summers, like it's all going to be about a start. So, and I know I'm pretty damn good at starts. So we'll see how it goes Saturday and, this summer. But yeah, honestly, go out and get, first, second, I'll be pumped. Go out and get 10th, 11th, I'll be pumped. Like, it's just kind of where my mindset's at right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think one of the major goals for you probably ought to be like, let's get through all of them, right? And let's not crash. Let's not have any injuries. Try not to have any DNFs. Let's go out and learn the tracks. And I mean, I would assume that's a big goal. Obviously, like you said, you'd love to go win, but let's get through them all, right? I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Are there any tracks in particular that you're really most looking forward to? Like, have you been to most of these tracks?
Yes and no. I'd say I've been to about half of them.
Okay.
Like Paul, obviously, we lived out here.
Yeah.
Hangtown, I went one time for an area qualifier, but I was hurt, so I kind of just rolled around. And then, I haven't really been in the ones in the middle of the country. But
so you're Red Bud and Millville are going to be like heaven for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Unadilla, I'm looking forward to a lot because just that's my home race. But like,
Yep.
I've never even raced that track, so you can call it home, but not really.
Yeah.
That'll just be sick because I'll have so many friends and family out there. But if I had to pick one, Unadilla or Redbud for sure. I'd have to say.
Millville is my place. That's my jam. That place is just beautiful. I never got to ride Redbud. Millville is one of the only national tracks I've ever rode. I rode Paula 2 weeks ago, and when Freestone was a thing, I raced there. But man, there's just something like heaven about Millville.
Yeah, no, I got you on that one.
Yeah.
They're all, but like, we're at the pro level now. Like,
Sure.
They're all sick. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're all gonna be hot. They're gonna be beat to shit, and not a lot of fun for somebody like myself. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Have you thought much about, you talked about your recovery and stuff, but like, have you taken into your training plan to plan for this? Because amateur racing, you do one moto and then you have probably sometimes a day before you do another one. So what have you done to kind of prepare for that quick turnaround?
Nothing crazy. I've always kind of watched on what I eat, some days, but
I like it.
now it kind of just like, it's like, damn, I really can't have those Oreos in the pantry, but no, just kind of watching what I'm eating and like, how much sugar I'm, supposed to be taking and just like the little things like that. But nothing crazy. Just like, I'm a big soda guy, so staying away from that. Just, the little things like that really that I think help a lot.
Scotty, I feel like me and Nick could be homies. Like, hey, man, eat some of these white fudge covered Oreos with me, man, and dip them in your ice cream, bro.
Bro, I'm from New York. Like, we're a town. We eat,
Oh, yeah, dude.
No, Nick, he literally has a whole cupboard. Full of the Oreos.
White fudge covered Oreos. Yeah. So
one cabinet full of just that.
Nick, I am a junk food junkie, as they would say. Like when my kids were home, they were not allowed to go into my cabinet. Do not touch my snacks. And he's right. I literally have about 25 boxes of those Oreos because they only come out in November. So every November I buy like 30 boxes of them, and they have to last all year. And I've got, I think, Scotty, I have 5 or 6 half gallons of Bluebell ice cream in there right now. Like, there's barely any food in my freezer. It's all ice cream.
It's just different flavors?
Yeah.
Just kind of, you're like one bite here, one bite there.
Yeah, you got to mix them. And you dip your cookies in them. Shoot. Anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right. So before we let you go, we just had Mosiman on, and I want to go ahead and ask you the same question. You probably don't have any set goals for the weekend, like position-wise, but do you have a checklist of things or just some things that you want to get done this weekend at the first round, whether it be a top 10, whether it be, I don't know, rail the perfect corner? Like, do you have any things like, I got to do these things at this first round or anything like that?
Yeah. Honestly, just getting better every time I hit the track and making progress, I feel like would be huge come, motos. I think, honestly, I mean, top 10, anything worse than that, I'd be, like not pissed, but not stoked.
A little disappointed.
Yeah, I'd say top 10 would be cool first round, a lot of heavy hitters. Everyone's healthy right now. So, honestly, top 10 and getting better every time I hit the track and 2 good starts is my main thing. So, that's about it.
That just came to me since you talked about being good at starts a little while ago. I'm sure you know all about Pulp Mix Fantasy. You were on Math's show a while back. You are officially my pick for the whole shot. Okay, so we're gonna need to make this shit happen. I just decided I'm picking you for the whole shot. I don't think, unless you're listening to the show, a lot of people were probably like, "Yeah, let's pick Nick Romano for that." So we're working a deal right now, Nick. Me and you, whole shot, one of the motos. All right?
Is it FFL, right?
Yeah, I think it is still first to finish line, but man, I think if you get the whole shot, you'll be good.
No, I got you for sure. Are the handicaps out yet?
No, they'll probably be out Thursday normally.
Okay.
Yeah, normally they're out Thursday. So
I am. I could be a pick as well. You never know. But yeah, FFL. Right. I got the boys convinced too that you got to pick them for sure.
All right, you're my guy.
Hey,
so
if I shit the bed, don't get mad though.
No, I never get mad. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, I might text you. I might text you and bust your balls a little bit, but I never get mad. It's like I think I'm the least of your worries on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Hey, man, I appreciate you responding today. And right after I saw the post, I was like, "Ooh, I got to reach out, man. I got to get him on and talk about it." And I'm excited to see what you got, man. It's going to be fun to watch you race all year.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys having me on.
Anytime, man. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Heck yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Later.
See you, bud. All right. Nick Romano, man, one of the outstanding rookies.
I really do kind of see him as one of those kids that he may not have the greatest season ever, but I really do see him kind of like how Tomac did it, J-Mart did it, where they just come out and just pull a whole shot and just go. I could totally see that happening. That's actually probably one of the best picks I've heard you make in a long time.
Yes. Yeah. I could also, again, man, nothing against him, but I could see him being one of those guys that, he pulls the Holy, he runs away. He's got a 2 or 3 second lead until about the halfway point, and then just blow up because it's all so different, right? And not to say he's not training, but everything is just just a different world.
It's a whole new
But how sick would it be for him to go out, pull the Holy?
I think he's one of those guys that could do it. I mean, he's got the bike to do it on.
Dude,
it's just how those rookies' adrenaline goes. Yeah.
I saw him at Freestone, and man, I feel like I watched him somewhere else. But the kid's, so skilled. So I guess I was watching the Reddis is what it was. Watching the Reddis on TV a while back. Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm looking forward. I can't wait for nationals now. I was kind of this last week going, I don't care. I'm kind of over. I don't really want to talk about racing right now. I just kind of needed a break. I was so glad to not do any shows last week, not to think about it, just relax, watch some TV, some random TV. But now I'm ready, dude. What else we can talk about? We got a few minutes before we get Tony on. I was going to ask you something. First I want to say Nick was brought to you by X-Brand Goggles.
Yep.
I missed that. X-Brand Goggles has grown into the choice goggle company for many of the top privateers in the world. Top privateers like Kyle Chisholm, Ben LeMay, Ryan Brees, as well as many of the other top GNCC guys like Craig Long choose X-Brand.
Josh Strang won with it this weekend.
Yep, with multiple lines to choose from, such as the EKSS, the GOX Flatouts, and the all-new Lucid with Wave Latch Quick Release System. Let me read a little bit more about those Lucids. With Wave Latch Quick Release Lens System, Race Face 4-layer factory foam. I got to talk about that in just a second. Lucid Extreme Definition Optics. Go to your local dealership and ask for X-Brand Goggles distributed by WPS. That foam, bro, we were talking about me riding the high des. That foam, you could literally wring the sweat out of my face because I was dehydrated, dude. Everything came out of my body into that foam. Not one single drop got in my eyes. Clear vision the entire time, except for when Aiden waited for me to come over a ridge and absolutely roosted me like I'd never been roosted before.
That doesn't sound like something a 16-year-old kid would do.
I was I had to keep my calm because it was funny, but at the moment it was not funny because this was the moment when we were leaving the watering hole. I was already struggling. I needed to get back to base camp and get some water. And there was a drop off to the left. We got up over a little rise and there was a barbed wire fence on the right. And when he hit me, it filled my helmet. I couldn't see anything. And I just tipped over and I went down tipped over onto the drop off on the left. And I was so tired. I almost couldn't get back up, couldn't pick the bike up. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. I was frustrated, but at the same time, I was like, I know this is funny. It's just not funny yet.
Yeah.
But
it was not funny at the time.
The sand nor the sweat got in my eyes because the X-Brand Lucid goggles are freaking amazing. Go buy a set of Lucids, and if you don't feel like going to your local dealership, hit me up, darksidemx3@aol.com. I have 4 or 5 pair left. I'll hook you up on a good deal. I also have some of the EKSS and the flat outs left. It's the standard goggle, but you need the Lucids, bro. Get you some Lucids. They brought you Nick Romano tonight, about 10 minutes away from Tony Alessi.
You said you were going to ask me a question.
Didn't I say I don't remember what it was, though?
You were, I think, I guess
pretty sure I said I don't remember
I know,
what it was, Scotty.
But I thought you maybe had recalled.
No, I don't. No. Oh boy, how's YouTube going tonight?
It's actually
any
pretty good.
ideas for the sticker? Anybody want the sticker?
So
Well, maybe nobody cares about the sticker.
So a couple people, you mentioned it real early, so a lot of people kind of were asking about it, but there was kind of just some jokes about like nobody really said anything. I think it's too broad. It needs to be more specific.
Well, for people that
there were some jokes made, but that was about it.
For some people that have joined late, our non-sponsor, our sponsor, our Berm Lords competing sponsor, Decal Works, hooked up my YZ250 with a set of graphics for Kiefer and Pulp for me to use when I was out there, and they threw some extras in, and they sent a stack of the Moto X Pod Show logo with a ponytail on it. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't know if it's cool. There's people on Twitter and Instagram that seemed like they really wanted them, so I figured
liked it.
I would offer them to our YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube right now, just, I don't know, tell me like what you would do to get one of these. I don't know. If you got any ideas, if anything funny comes across, Scotty, anything worthwhile, somebody could win one of these. And then if you're listening in the archives, again, I said, hit us up, motoxpodshow@gmail.com. Tell me what you do for one, and I'm sure I'll give a couple away. We've got a few extra.
Basically, what he's saying is just email him.
Yeah,
he'll give you one.
I was trying to do something for our YouTube listeners also.
Yeah.
We did get a winner for the signed Aaron Plessinger toy dirt bike.
Okay.
And that was April. Man, I think I have it wrote down right. Ormond, Ormand.
Ormond, that's how I would say it.
The idea was, or the question was, at his last amateur national, he got beat by two guys. He finished third. Who were the two guys? And that was RJ Hampshire and Colt Nichols. So we got a bunch of right answers, and I just had to draw one. And April was the winner. And she actually, I don't know if she's a new listener, but she doesn't usually enter contests, she said, and she reached out. And I think she's a fairly new listener. So congratulations, April. We have some female listeners. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully my stupid jokes don't offend. I don't really do stupid, dirty jokes. I just do stupid jokes.
Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Well, no. The ones, I don't know. Yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah. We only got a couple minutes, but what do you think about Tomac not riding today? Do you think he races, or do you think he really is?
So what? What's the headline?
Just didn't ride today. Everybody rode pretty much today, but Eli, and Coker, the team manager, said that he's just saving the knee. He didn't want to go out there, but there's a lot of people like, he's not going to race.
Yeah,
what does your gut tell you?
I wouldn't jump to conclusions. I think that he's going to go. He'll be there.
Yep.
For the first gate drop.
Okay.
And that's going to determine the season.
All right.
Like, I don't think that we really can't make any conclusions until I don't think he knows. I think he's going to go.
Conclusion. My prediction.
What? Ferrandis wins the title.
1-1. Eli Tomac. 1-1.
Oh, not Ferrandis?
No, he'll win the championship, but I tried to get Dylan on tonight. Dude, this show was very difficult one to book. Here's the people that I reached out to that couldn't do it, that I can remember off the top of my head. Dylan Ferrandis, Cameron McAdoo, and now I'm blanking. Holy shit. There was like 5 people that I reached out to.
Yeah.
And the guys couldn't do it. Give me a second. I'm scrolling through just so I can kind of keep people. People probably don't even give a shit. Chance Hymas. Oh, Evan Ferry. I reached out to Evan because he posts pictures on a Yamaha. People are thinking he's on Star. I say, hey, dude, can you come on? He's like, I don't really even know what I'm doing yet, which he probably does, but he can't say. So he couldn't come on. Damon Bradshaw tried to get on. He was going to be like, no cell signal riding today, so he couldn't come on. And as we've talked about before, when these things happen, when I start reaching out to people and I keep getting a bunch of no's and we're getting closer and closer to showtime, I start going, oh, crap. Justin Bogle was one of the guys I reached out to, which he is coming on. But I hit him up last night. Hey, can you come on at the 7:30 time slot, Central? No answer. This morning, hit him up. No answer. I gave him about 2 or 3 hours. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to pass. He must be busy. So I reached out to Nick Romano. Nick said, yeah, I'll do it. Like within 2 minutes, Bogle didn't respond. Yeah, I'll do it. It's like, super. Now I have 2 people for 7:30.
Yeah.
So I kind of told Bogle what happened. He's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. And which, no, it's not his fault. He's busy. But he agreed to switch. So he'll be on in the 8:30 time slot.
Okay.
But yeah, I start getting a little panicky. It always feels like we're not going to have any guests. And then all of a sudden I have
like, boom,
a whole bunch of guests.
Yeah, now we have like 6.
Which it worked fine tonight because I don't have to do wrap-up show stuff. So, yeah, so it's a good show. But Yeah, this morning I was like, crap, I'm empty. I'm missing a spot.
Yeah.
And now we're good. Now we have. I thought we were gonna have 2 people, and now we have 5. That's how it changes.
It's I guess kind of the way it goes, man.
Yeah. Good stuff behind the scenes. Actually, probably not good stuff. Pretty lame. People are probably like, "This is stupid. Why would we listen?"
How much more time do we have?
But at the same time, there was no Pulp Mix this week. We're all you got.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
3 minutes. So real quick, last couple things. The new Racer X just came out. I got mine in the mail yesterday. My third 10 minutes with article is out. Logan Carnow this week, or in this month's article. Magazine, whatever. If you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to Racer X. Just for me, man. Support me for 10 minutes with.
Me.
It's not even that expensive. And then I wrote an article on Racer X Online that I've gotten a lot of cool reviews about. It was called Friendship Forged in Battle, about Christian Craig and Dylan Ferrandis' friendship, how it evolved.
Yeah, I want to read that one. I guess I need to subscribe.
Well, that's online. All you got to do is go to Racer X Online.
Okay.
It's there. It's like you got to scroll down because it's a few days, like last week, but it's there.
Okay.
That was really fun. Like those guys, okay, just if you guys haven't checked it out yet, like I texted Christian and Dylan in a group text before I went to California, so 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, I'd like to write this article about how your friendship evolved from the incident to now, to where Dylan is flying into Salt Lake City to come support you as a surprise. Yeah. And Dylan responded a couple minutes later. He's like, I hate this guy. I do not like him. I will T-bone him first chance I get in outdoors. And then Christian's like, he just pretends to be my friend to get more American fans. And then Dylan says, yeah, I need more followers. Like that was like, they were just joking and messing on each other. And it was like, okay, I'm using this if it's okay, but I need real answers. So they did answer like 5 or 6 questions, and that's in the article. It was really funny. It was really interesting to listen to them or read what they had to say about each other, what they respected about each other. So check out Racer X Online if you haven't. Go find that one. I think I have a privateer profile coming out in the next day or 2 on Garrett Schlegel from Privateer Life that we talked to last week. A few more things coming. So commercial break. We'll be right back with Tony Alessi.
No. Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm interested in this interview. I think it'll be a good one.
Got some stuff for him?
Yeah, I've got some good stuff.
Good. All right, let's get him on. Where did it go?
Hello, it's Tony.
Tony, how are you, man? This is Jamie. Dark Side, whichever you prefer.
Hey, how are you, bud?
I'm good, man. I've got my co-host Scotty in studio, and we're live on YouTube, so we'll probably get some listener questions. If you're ready, we'll start this thing.
All right, let's go.
All right. All right, everybody. Next up, brought to you by Cherubies USA. You guys know the deal. For decades, Cherubies USA has been the leader in moto plastic and accessories for products that fit perfect and look great and last. Cherubies has what you need. Visit CherubysUSA.com. Let them know we sent you. Tonight, Cherubies USA brings us the one and only, the legend, Tony Alessi. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you guys doing?
We're doing really good. So there's a few things I want to get into, but really I'd like to start out with what you have going on currently with the AME Minicross stuff and the Stasic races you have out there at Glen Helen. That's a really cool thing you've been doing. You would not let me on the mini track the other night on my 250, but that's okay.
Yeah, so we've been working on this project for about the last 5-6 years now, and it's the 6 weeks of summer is what it is at Glen Helen, and it's all kids, only kids, no big bikes, no adults, and so we do a thing where Thursday evenings, kind of like the old OCIR program, we go out there and Thursday evening and we have a Stasic practice and race for the little kids, and then we have a mini practice for the bigger kids, and that basically starts at 5 and goes to dark. And on Saturday, we have a cool program called the Stasic Cup and the Mini Stars Cup series, where kids actually race for gold cups, and the Stasic kids actually race for bikes, Stasic bikes. It's pretty cool. And again, it's 6 weeks of racing on Saturday. We start pretty early in the morning, about 7:30, and we try to get done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're not wearing kids out and wearing families out. You know how that works.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's been great. Kids love it, families love it, and yeah, we've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, I was out there obviously a couple Thursdays ago with Kiefer's, and I rode over there, and like you could just see all those kids having a blast. There's a ton of families out there, and it's super impressive. Something that I've taken away from you, and I obviously don't know you very well personally, but your passion for your boys when they were racing, and it just seems like you have such a passion for having kids involved in outdoor activities and two-wheel sports, and like the way you get behind kids being involved in the sport, it's really something very impressive.
Well, I appreciate you recognizing that. Obviously, I have kids of my own too now,
Yeah.
like new ones.
Yeah.
And so it all kind of goes hand in hand. And like I said, this is it. We have a blast during the summer, and Supercross is over, and it's like that's what we do. 6 weeks of summer, and we kind of finish it up at the end of June when it's just getting to that kind of boiling point out here in California.
Right.
And yeah, so again, like I said, it's been super successful. Everybody likes it, and as long as they like it and we can do it, we're going to keep doing it.
Fantastic. It's good. I love getting kids out doing stuff because most kids around where I'm at, if they're not playing baseball, they're sitting at home watching YouTube. So yeah.
And that was the whole idea, right?
Yeah.
Tony Berluti and I really kind of thought this up on a drive to a practice track one day. And I was like, man, I got to get the kids, even my own, out of the iPads,
Yeah.
out of those, off the phones and into activity. And that's what we kind of talked about. Next thing you know, it's a reality, and we've been doing it ever since.
I forgot Berlut was involved with that idea, man. I love Berluti. He is one of the best humans.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like I said, we kind of talked about it and dreamed it up on a drive to a test day.
Yeah.
Test day in the van. Like we were in the van for like an hour and a half. It was something that we talked about, and I think at some point in the conversation, I was challenged to do it, and
Of
I
course.
was like, okay, then I will.
That's fantastic.
That's how it went.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like getting to ask guys like you that have very unique perspective. So you've been a moto dad at an elite level, and you've been a team manager at an elite level, and I just kind of wanted you to maybe compare and contrast being those two different kinds of being a moto dad and being a manager.
So moto dad is like it's all about your kid. You're traveling. You're at the hospital and they break their leg, and you're spending trying to work through their personal problems. If they have a girlfriend thing going on or whatever, there's a lot of involvement as a parent of a rider. There's so much that could happen or does happen or could go wrong or could go right. You really got you're 100% kind of focused on one thing, and it's it's a challenge for sure. I can tell you that. But as a team manager, you're not so in depth with every rider. You're basically handling the needs that they ask you to handle, and you take care of them. You take care of their mechanics. You take care of their program in terms of material and bike, and make them feel safe and comfortable that we're not running parts that are going to time out and make them crash out. Once they know that they're secure and that their program is safe for them to ride, and they know that someone is on top of those numbers and such, then that's the whole part of being a team manager, right? Just making sure all the riders feel comfortable and feel safe and taking care of their needs. It's not as in depth as and that's why I think I can't allow Mike to ride for our team. It's because if I do have Mike on my team, right, it means that all my focus is going to go to Mike, right? And it's a tough thing, because I love my kid. He's definitely good enough to race World Supercross. He should be racing World Supercross, but unfortunately, if I do it on my team, it hurts all the other guys because I can't give them the attention that I would normally give them, right?
I appreciate you saying that, like you acknowledging that, like that's, obviously, that's a very mature and egoless thing to say.
Well, yeah, trust me, it didn't come easily.
Right.
I kind of had to like learn it And there's a lot of good quality guys out there like Justin Brayton and my team owner, Mike Genova, that make it easier for me to like see the bigger picture, right? And how things work. And so, because sometimes, when you got your kid going on a program of any kind of nature, you really get sucked into it,
Sure.
and nothing else matters at that point, and so, yeah, there is a bigger picture. And so we have to protect it, right? Because the team is number one, and, we have to protect the team and the best interest of the team. So that, kind of the greater good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I also, the stories I hear when riders like go on Pulp and talk about you or, on our show, they always say how even like with your own kids, for your riders on your team, you will go to the ends of the earth to get them what they need if it's at all possible.
Yeah. I mean, that's all part of it, right? That's our job, right? That's, our job is to make sure, number one, first and foremost, that the riders have everything that they need.
Yeah.
We check all the boxes on our side, right? If all the boxes are checked on our side, then it's up to the rider at that point, right? But if we don't check our boxes on our side, then that gives us a hole, right? And the riders at that point could say, I didn't perform at my best because, these 3 boxes weren't checked, right? But if we check all of our boxes, and we've done everything on our part, then it's all on the rider at that point. And then I can feel good that we've done our job right. If the rider fails for whatever reason, that's on him then at that point, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You're saying all the right things for a team manager. Like, it's really impressive. I know you've been doing this a long time, and throughout the years of, working with Mike and Jeff, like you've obviously learned enough to do what you're doing now at a high level and a very professional level, and in my opinion, a very successful level.
Well, I appreciate that very much. And like I said, I kind of got started in this whole thing. When I look back, it's like 1978. I'm like, oh my God, that's a long time, man.
Sure.
That's a long, long time ago.
It sure is.
I've done a lot of jobs and riding myself, right? So I rode, I was a rider, I was a racer. I mean, I was a flagger. I was an announcer. I was, like you said, I was a rider's parent. I am a race promoter. I mean, I've done a lot of different facets of the job. I mean, when these guys were young, I was working on their track. So I was track builder, bulldozer, skid steer, making whoops, water truck, all of those things all the way down the line. I mean, you name it. I think I've done pretty much all of it at one point or another that's involved with it,
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You know what the right way to do things are, and from all sides of it.
And probably because I did it wrong so many times, I kind of figured it out how to do it the right way.
That's fantastic.
I can tell you it didn't come naturally. That's
right.
for sure.
I love it.
Well, so this year with Vince, we've seen people race 250s on one coast and then do 450s on opposite, but it seemed like it's kind of like, I don't seem like it's been a thing where y'all planned. Like, this is like our genuine plan where he's going to do this and do that. And I just wanted to know if that kind of exceeded your expectations of his performance. And do you kind of see more guys of his caliber kind of going to that program?
Well, last year, I was kind of watching one of the coasts or whatever, and I was like, man, and I wasn't actually thinking about Vince at the time. I was actually thinking about Mike, my kid, right? I was like, dude, Mike could ride 250 in this class and be fifth, no problem. And then it occurred to me like later in the season when we didn't really have much to offer last year because our guys didn't really race to their potential, and so it became a problem for us, right? Because we didn't have very good results. We didn't have good, we didn't have a lot to go to our sponsors with to say, hey, we're going to do this again next year. So we were kind of talking about it and thinking about it. And then I was like to Vince, Vince, what about a 250? You want to ride 250? You'd be top 5 every race. I was like, go look at your lap times. Your lap times that you have make you a top 5 250 guy. And he kind of hee-hawed. And then I went and talked to his dad. I'm like, hey, talk to Vince about this. I think he could do it, And obviously, Mike Genova kind of had this concept going as well. He was on the same page. He was actually talking about it as well, if not before me or during that time. He was already talking it too. So it's like it was all kind of connecting. Justin Brayton got in the conversation. He thought that was a good idea. And next thing you know, this whole thing just kind of was coming together. It was all like, it was weird. It was like simultaneous. Genova started talking about it. I was talking about it. Brayton was talking about it. And next thing you know, we got this plan going for 250s. And like I said, at first I was having trouble getting Vince to buy in on it because he felt like it was a demotion a little bit. But I was spelling it out to him. I'm like, Vince, you can earn money, like money that you haven't been able to earn before. You're going to be able to get it. I mean, think about it. The bonuses are the same for 250 and 450 from the team. Mm-hmm. So instead of trying to beat Cooper Webb for 5th, right, you're going to be beating Jake Schwal for 5th. I mean, think about that. It's money. You're going to be doing a job, and the opportunity is way bigger for you. So talked him into it, got the bike. Bike wasn't really good at the beginning, and that was another struggle because he was heavy and he was big. He hadn't rode a 250 for several years, so we had an uphill battle with that initially, but finally came to terms with it. Probably coming around like December, he got it in gear. And I was like, okay, here we go. Now we're good. We got an opportunity. We've got a rider. We got a good bike. We can do good. I see podiums. I see top 5s. And that's what materialized.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Yeah, he got I think 6th overall in 250 West, and I think his best finish was 2nd at A3. Some really great rides. I mean, really the team, I feel like the team had a pretty damn successful year, right? I mean, Mitchell Oldenburg had great rides. JB, just the consummate professional, consistent, right where I feel like he probably should have been. Maybe a few races he could have done a little bit better, but I feel like a very steady, successful retirement year for him. But just overall, I think it was a really good season for the team.
Yeah, essentially we had a podium on each side of the coast, right, on 250s. Both guys were hovering around top 5 every race. Their starts were good. They got good TV coverage. They got good highlight reels, as Mr. Genova would call it, because that's what we were after. Last year, no highlight reels. We got to get highlight reels this year, and that was where the concept of 250 was born. And he did it. He was right. He's been getting, So it's like I said. So we had top 5s, most of the coast, both sides, and then Brayton had a top 5 450. We had Vince with a all-time high of 6th in the 450 for his career.
Yeah.
We had Oldenburg with an 8th, which is an all-time high for him in 450. So yeah, I'd say 10 out of 10 for good success this year.
I agree. Mitchell's got to be stoked on not building fences anymore and we're back to racing.
Yeah, I just talked to Mitch a little while ago. He's already excited to get back at it here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And good mechanic with Nathan Alexander. Nathan's been around the sport quite a bit with Andrew Short and quite a few other good riders, and he's a pleasure to have around. He's very accurate and precise with what he's doing, and yeah, it's great. It's a great little good chemistry we have going on there.
Absolutely. Speaking of the mechanics, does my buddy Nick McCampbell is he the glue that holds the team together?
Well, so Nick is the everything guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he stays. We have our race shop at the compound. So
right.
He lives here at the compound. I mean, he's a Pee-wee mechanic. He's bicycle repair guy. He's a shop repair guy. He's mechanic. For 2 guys, sometimes 3 guys at a time, whatever it takes, going on for practice bikes. And yeah, so he's always busy.
He's a good dude, man. The guy's helped me out so many times. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
With y'all's team and having the outside sponsor, I think that's so beneficial and so important to the heart of the sport, to just not be just the people that are in the sport, Cherry B's and all that other stuff. But so I just kind of wanted to know what you thought was the biggest challenge to keeping sponsors like Smart Top and the Bullfrog Spas and stuff like that, and kind of what you thought about that process.
Well, sponsors like to see their name mentioned on TV, right?
Right.
If they get the TV mention, they're typically pretty happy. Then obviously when they come to the pit, having some kind of a presence there in the pit is also equally important. And if you got those 2 kind of bases covered, you got 90% of it covered, right? At that point. And so that's pretty much it. Our sponsors have been really happy with us. Even sponsors that we've had from years past have been calling, trying to reconnect. So nice, I think that So I think that that's all telling me, or telling the team, or telling my team owner, Mike Genova, that we're doing the right things, right?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's a great presence. The team is just, like we've already talked about, come so far over the last few years. I got a couple more for you. This one, like, I'm just curious. You do have what, I think 4 young kids right now?
I do. I have 4 girls.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
How many more years do you think you want to travel the country doing Supercross? Have you even thought about that?
Well, I mean, I know that we're kind of reprogramming here. You know,
Okay.
we're going to be doing World Supercross and a U.S. Supercross. You know, so we don't do outdoor nationals.
Right.
And I would imagine that. I mean, if World Supercross goes in the direction that we think it will, then I think that our team would be a World Supercross team.
That's what I was hearing. That was actually going to be my next question. So we've heard, there are some rumors that maybe Cole Seeley might be coming out of retirement. Like, do you want to talk about the World Supercross stuff? I
mean, I can talk about World Supercross from what I'm allowed to talk about, I guess, for the most part. I'm not sure what the perimeters are, but we're excited about it, that's for sure. And being able to travel to different continents to race and being on a world platform is obviously very exciting for myself, the riders, the team. You know, it's a big platform, right? You're talking about the FIM World Championships, and so I think there could be a lot of value and a lot of something great there. You know,
I agree. I'm excited about it. I've got some friends that are, over in Australia that are kind of tied in with it a little bit. I know there's not a lot of that can be talked about just yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. It's going to be really just more racing. I mean, who can be upset about more racing?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's the right kind of racing too, right? When we're talking about Supercross, I think that Supercross is the future of the sport. I mean, it's where people go and sit in stands, and they might go to one of those little boxes, where they got drinks and pizza and all that, and they wear their nice shoes, and they bring their wife and kids there, and it's not like you're burning in the sun all day long. You're there, you get there at like 6, and you're out of there by 9. I think it's all right. I mean, I think it's the future.
I agree. Scott, you got one more? I thought you had a listener question. No,
I didn't.
Okay. Well, hey, Tony, man, I'm always honored to talk to you. You've been around a long time. You're always super friendly to us at the races. I was telling people a few shows ago at the Salt Lake City race, I had Evan Blair with me, and you were kind enough to make sure that all the guys got together and take pictures with Evan and sign stuff. You allowed us to sign the banner for Justin Brayton. You're just always welcoming, and I really, really appreciate your presence and how you've been to us at the races.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. It's what we do and how we operate, and it's none of it is like fake or whatever. This is just how we operate, right? How we roll, and so we're glad to be a part of it. We always try to keep the vibe good at the pit and with all of our people and all the people that we have to work with. And you know what? It's just as easy to do things, right and nice, and than it is to be, the other way.
A butthole.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. It means a lot to me, and I thank you for having time for us tonight.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure. And again, thanks for contacting us and having us part of it. My team owner, Mike Genova, is, always striving to put the best foot forward all the time. And I mean, you see that with the way that our pit looks and the way that we operate. And again, a lot of this is people say for me, but it's not. It's really him. It's all his dream and his idea. I'm just there to assist and help and be part of it. So.
Well, you guys are doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Thanks again.
Anytime, Tony. We'll talk to you real soon. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. See you, bud. Tony Alessi, man. Good guest, dude. So knowledgeable. Been around forever. Like his evolution of, what we perceived him as back in the day when the boys were racing to what he's become. Like, I mean, he admitted, like he said, right? Like, I can't have Mike on my team because I lose focus.
I'm a moto dad, yeah.
Like now, but what he's done with that team, him and Genova, like those are teams that we cannot afford to lose.
And I think that's, the way his career naturally worked out was nice because he has an analytical mind. You can tell that he's boom, boom, boom. I took what you said, and then I've got the exact perfect answer for that. Boom, boom, boom. Like he has that. And I think that's the perfect kind of mindset for a team manager, especially in this sport where so many variables and so many different things can happen. And he's a machine.
Yeah, and like the thing I mentioned that I've heard so many times is like if a rider wants a particular thing, he'll figure out a way to get it and get it quick as possible. And if he cannot get it, he'll say, "We can't do it."
Yeah,
like there's no like, "Oh, we're gonna do our best." We're he just
very straight,
straight to the point, but does everything he can to make things happen. And I think riders appreciate that, right? I mean, and I think when he took over as team manager of that team, I think there was a lot of, oh boy.
Yeah.
And of course Mike was part of the team at the time. But even then it seemed like he was doing a great job, being very professional and figuring out what it took to take that team to a more successful level.
Well, okay, so you kind of put him in that category as with your Twisted Tea and maybe the SBG guys and a couple of, kind of SGB. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But so you kind of put them in those teams.
I think they're above those teams personally.
So I mean, as far as those teams are concerned, they had the best success this year. I mean, so like the
non-factory teams. Basically, they're as close to a factory team as you can. Well, I mean, I guess technically HEP is the factory support team.
Yes, but I mean, they're not getting anything factory stuff.
Right. Yeah. So. I think Tony, that team, MCR, has really done a great job. And so has HEP. I mean, those teams have all, in SGB and...
No, they're all great.
Solitaire, they've all done a good job of every year getting better, but there's just something... You almost look at MCR as really right there. To me, anyway, I look at them as almost a factory team.
Yeah.
Not because of the equipment necessarily or whatever, but because of how they run things, and their talent level is really close, right? I mean, obviously they probably can't afford a Eli Tomac or Ken Roxon, but they have really good riders and they get the best out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like you said, his sponsors are happy, so he's happy,
We have a few minutes. We don't really have enough time to get into national, which we may not get into that too. We'll talk about that with Troy Dog. What's your situation with your motorcycle, your KTM that you blew up because you forgot to tighten the drain plug, not because the blood lubricants wasn't good enough, but because your dumbass let it drain out.
Yeah. I guess I'm waiting on you.
I haven't had any luck, dude.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet. And
you did send me a parts list. Did you email that to me or did you text
emailed it to you?
Okay. I got to find that again. I know I sent it to some people, but I don't have the same connection at Vortec where I got all my parts for my 06 and stuff. That guy's left and they don't sponsor Pulp anymore.
I think like at this point I'm starting to just look at getting them from Motorsport and just using like one of those, like find like a 10% or 20% discount somewhere and then just using that and just biting the bullet. Because I mean, because we can get it fixed. I just got to get the parts.
Right, and I need to talk. I need to check with Checkers. I've been trying to get a hold of Checkers for a couple of days, and he's been sick. He texted me. He called me back today, but I did not think to ask him about your motorcycle.
But to answer your question, it's I've definitely been playing a lot of golf.
Okay.
Everybody went to Billadilla this weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely was feeling a little heartbroken, like the little puppy left on the porch. Just kind of kicking myself in the teeth. But it's honestly, man, like it really does kind of suck. Like I feel stupid and like it's the nicest bike I've ever had, and I do something like that to it. Like, why couldn't I do that to my little 110? Or my, or something, or an older bike. Like, why does it have to be the new one? So definitely, it's like it almost made me really like, do I even want to ride anymore? Like,
oh wow, yeah, I've been there. I guess
because like it was like, man, like I'm gonna do all this, and then I still suck, and but I definitely need to ride. Like I need to quit trying to like just go do one-off races. I just need to keep going to riding because that's when I have the most fun anyways.
I don't care about racing that much anymore. Like even going to Paula the other day, I was like, man,
because
I'd rather just go ride.
I'll go do like some of a big race and there'll be like, 20 plus people in the class. And if I get like 10th or something, like, well, I never feel like I rode my best.
Yeah.
Like I would rather just go out and like in a B group practice or a A group practice or something like that, and just be like, oh, well, I stayed with that guy that's obviously fast for a little bit, I'd
rather just go with my buddies to a random track.
That's what I'm saying.
Just, like if somebody like when I go ride with Michael Gage, he's so much faster.
But you're like, oh, I stuck with him for a lap.
He'll just slow down sometimes, and we'll ride laps together and just kind of bang elbows a little bit and cut each other off. And maybe you're not going full speed.
See, I did that. I did that with TJ where I slowed down and rode with him, and
he's super slow. He sucks.
Dude, I want to see you and TJ battle now. 250 F versus 252 stroke.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be close.
Our riding level was pretty close. Like,
yeah.
I beat him all those races. The few races we raced, because I was on a 450 and he was on like a 2-stroke. I mean, that's why I beat him. His corner speed's better than mine, but
that'd be fun to see.
I'll get there
together.
if I start riding more. I really do plan on riding more and working out a little bit.
I know. And then you finally get a bike, and now I'm just sitting here bikeless.
Yeah, well, my bike's not. I won't have a bike to ride for probably a month. Because I got to send the suspension off, and my 06 is getting rebuilt, so it'll be a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to train in the meantime. I'm about to start getting back on my bicycle.
That's what I need to do is take advantage of the opportunity that I have of not just start going on runs and stuff, and then when I come back to it, I can take it a little more serious.
So we got a couple minutes. I'll run you through a couple of the workouts that Chris kind of showed me. They're not anything major, but when he went to Alden's for that media thing they did at Alden's, he learned some things, and like one of the exercises was take like a curl bar, like what I'm talking about, like not a barbell, but a curl bar that has like the little. That's what he had. You can probably do the barbell, but you lay it on the ground and bend over and put if you're on your feet, you bend over and hold the curl bar and then roll it out to where you're push-up position.
Oh yeah.
Do a push-up and then pull it back.
Yeah,
and do 10 of those.
That's the moto. I saw a Gary Simek's video where it's kind of the same thing where they put your.
I know it's a very common, but I've never really been shown those things really and paid attention. So he had me do. His thing was, this was Friday after the high des ride, and he's like, "Hey," I'd taken a shower, and he's like, "Hey, let me show you a couple of these exercises." And I think he's just gonna show me, but no, he expects me to do them. So I did those, and then he took like a piece of PVC. It was like 3-inch PVC.
Yeah.
And it was about 5 or 6 feet long, and it was like partially filled with water. And then you kind of you stand up with it above your head, and you lean over to one side, and the water drain into the. It's got
like a rain, like a redneck rain stick.
Yeah, it's just, you just feel that water shift sides, and then you go to the other side. You do that 10 times. And so there's things like I actually built some of those. I have the water thing, the water PVC in that other room, and I've been lifting weights, and I bought like a yoga ball, and I've been doing some different stretching, and I get up in like 5:15 in the morning, and I start doing a little workout.
Look at you, man. New hair, new bike, new man.
New life, man.
New life. Who dis?
Who dis? But those are a couple of the exercises. He did a couple other ones where like you take I think he had like a curtain rod. I used a piece of PVC, but you get in push-up position, and with one hand you hold the PVC, and you hold yourself up with the other hand, and then you switch hands real quick and grab the PVC, and you don't let it fall. And you do that like each arm 10 times. So those are just little things, little
reaction time,
little strength building, and I don't know. I got some things to work on, that's for sure. My cardio is awful. So
I mean, that's.
You been getting any interaction from YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube's been going. They've kind of been in their own little thing,
just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, it's been
cool.
good. That's
what they do on Pulp. Like when you're on the Pulp one on Monday nights,
they're not talking about the same stuff.
They totally get away from talking about or listening to Pulp. So
that's good.
Cool, man. Okay, commercial break. We'll be right back. Right?
Back. You've been riding that 2-stroke too much.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be right back with Justin Bogle.
Yeah, they were like, "Don't give up, Scotty." It was funny.
I texted him a few minutes ago. Let's see here. At 8:19, I said 15 minutes. So that's really 11 minutes. We can call him here in just a minute. So we'll just shoot the shit with YouTube if they got anything. Anybody got any questions, or what are they talking about? Anything? Nobody wants the sticker very bad, clearly.
Yeah,
Well,
is this one for me?
Yeah, you can have that one.
Oh, nice.
Since YouTube doesn't want it,
dude. It's not like a cheap, flimsy motorsport sticker that comes with. It's like decal.
Yeah,
it's a legit sticker.
It's thick ass.
It's got the pony on it.
Decal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I didn't even realize it when I first opened it. And like again, Berm Lords is our place to go if you want your graphics done. But these are just freebies. So I actually have more than maybe I don't. I got a few, and I got some of these.
No, those are cool.
You can have one of those too.
That's sweet.
I guess.
It's just the same thing, but black without a pony. Yeah.
Oh, look. I got my number plate ones, Dark Side.
Yeah, I don't want that on my computer.
Well, I wasn't going to give you one. And then I got another Dark Side with the 3 on it. They made a bunch of stickers for me. But I can't wait to get my kit from Berm Lords. Adam is working on my graphics for the YZ. He thinks he's going to have a proof this week. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I actually have the one that Decal Works built me over here, but I'm not going to use it. No disrespect to those guys. But, all right, let's go ahead and call Bogle.
Hello.
Bogle, what up, dude?
What's poppin'?
Not much, man. You ready to get into this thing?
Let's do it.
All right, I got my co-host Scotty in. We're on YouTube, so we may get some listener questions. We'll see how it goes, but we'll start this thing off.
Cool.
All right, boys. Next up, my buddy Justin Bogle is going to join us just here in a second. He is brought to you tonight by Racetech. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MotoXPod to save. Scotty, that YZ250 is going to have Racetech on it in just a few weeks. I'm going to be ripping. No, nothing?
No, I don't think you are.
All right, you're probably right. All right, tonight Racetech brings us our buddy Justin Bogle. What's up, JB?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to have you on. I have some stuff I want to talk to you about, but first, just coming off Supercross, not the year you wanted. I know that. Like, you have more talent than your results showed. Is it difficult at your level to check your ego and go, look, I know I'm better than that. I had some issues, and just kind of let it go? Or do you tend to dwell on those things?
I mean, it's tough, man. We're all extremely competitive professional athletes, and the majority of us have done a lot more winning in our lives than losing.
Yep.
Until we get to the professional ranks. And, man, this year, I mean, it's damn near impossible, to be honest, to check the pride and the ego, if you will. And I have had a rough year. I'm not going to lie. So I've been struggling. Maybe, I think the only other time I've struggled this bad was maybe 2018 when I was hurt a lot and dealing with all that stuff. So this year has been trying, to say the least, for sure.
So what can you, like, you've been doing this a long time. You've talked about that, right? I mean, you talked on Pulp a while back about, being a man and like the way you handle things, and you handle things very well. We talked, I think, off air. I texted you like how impressed I was with you. But so tell me, as an adult man, what you learned from this experience this year that you can take and improve, whether it be on your racing, on your personality, your just and your life in general, because hardships build character. So what can you take away from the season that you can use?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the age old saying, hard times make strong men, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's true, but damn it if it's not tough while you're in it, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something to learn. There's always something to gain from these, I guess, times when you're really struggling. But I think for me, it's like, man, I'm kind of tired of struggling a little bit.
Sure.
I've been doing this so long that it's tough, and I've been struggling with, a lot with bike setup and a lot with just change and then some personal stuff going on. And then it kind of just snowballed a bit more than I would have liked to have let it. And, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. I think coming in this year for outdoors is today at, the pro ride day at Paula, that was like my third or fourth day riding outdoors, so I just feel like I'm just chasing something I can't catch, I'm just behind. I'm just behind. So struggling with that stuff, but like you said, there's always something to learn from all of it. It's just sometimes in the moment, honestly, you don't know what the hell it is. So,
sure. Take a while.
You got to kind of just go through it sometimes, and the hardest part for me is the one thing that I've always known about myself is like, man, I might not know much about life. I might not be good at much, but I know I can ride a motorcycle very well. And this year, man, has been testing that theory of
Sure.
mine. So
Right.
It's been a pretty monumental mountain to try to climb over this year. And I didn't anticipate it being as difficult as it's been. So that always makes it a little tough, I guess tougher as well. But man, I think if there's one thing I've learned throughout my career and my time as an adult since I moved out of my parents' house is just you got to be resilient. You don't get anywhere if you give up on things. So I'm trying, man. We got the feet on the ground. We're still standing. So as long as you can stand up, you can fight. So
there you go.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, and before we get into outdoors and stuff, I want there has been a positive this year that I saw recently on Instagram. Dude, you got engaged, bro.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. A couple years ago, I never would have thought, but yeah, I'm that's the thing too, is like, I guess getting older and experiencing more things in life is you spend so much of your life living and dying by how you do on Saturdays. And that's a really tough way to live when you're struggling. Mm-hmm. It gets very, very, very difficult. And for me right now, like everything else in my life is awesome, man. It's as good as it's ever been. So it makes it a little easier to leave the track and have my girl with me to support me and help with that stuff and just be my rock, honestly. Yeah. Pretty much all year whenever we were dealing with the stuff with Ryan passing and all that, she was, man, so solid for me. So without her, I'd be in a world of hurt at the moment, I think. So, man, that's been the biggest blessing I could ever ask for, you know? So having her, and then we've been struggling bad as a team, but the team is full of just really good people. So yep. Very supportive and just good people in general, regardless of business and racing. So I do appreciate them, and then my friends and everyone, and for helping with all this, you know, because like I said, it gets tough sometimes. So
it does, man. It's peaks and valleys, you know, and next year you might be on top of the world, but you're going to look back on this year and go, wow, okay, maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe I took something away, you know, and it's just the way life is, man. But like, you know, yeah, losing your buddy like that had to be obviously the low point of the year. I feel very fortunate. I've never lost anybody that close to me as of yet, but it's the emotional type of guy I am. It would probably, like, I don't know that I would have been as successful as you have been this year, like overcoming what you did. Like it's not easy, man. And I'm very impressed with how you've handled that situation, the Barsha situation, all the different things that you've dealt with. Like, I think there are a lot of positives you can take away from this season. It just may take some time for you to actually see them.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is perspective, and how, as long as you can maybe take a breath and step back and look at it from a bigger view, a lot of this stuff, you know, the personal stuff, you know, I'm very close with a few people. Mm-hmm. So obviously losing one of the few people that I'm extremely close with is the most difficult thing you can really go through. But the racing stuff and all of that, even the thing with Barsha, it's like, if you just take a step back and look at it from a broader view, it's not that big of a deal. Right, you know, right. Like some things, yes, obviously you have to stand up for yourself, blah, 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 all that. It's been said 100 times, but it's not that big of a deal, you know? So you can get through those times and move on and learn what you can learn through them and be better for them, you know? And I think even dealing with, you know, the personal stuff, it's like, there's something to gain from that as well. You know, it's the worst feeling in the world going through it, but afterwards, you know, whenever afterwards is, there's something to be gained and learned from all of it. So I think that approach helps with a lot of it, especially when you're just getting dog shit results all year, you know? Yeah. Because for me in the past, like, if I've struggled with results, you know, I had Epstein-Barr really bad, and I definitely would challenge anyone that doesn't believe that's real to go ahead and get it and let me know how they feel about that.
No thanks.
Yeah. So with those things though, if I randomly went out and hole shot and led half of a race and got a top 5 or won a heat race or something, I don't feel like no one was really surprised. It's like, oh, okay, well, we know it's there. Like, cool. Lately, I haven't felt like I've even got the comfort and the speed to even do that. So that's been the biggest struggle of the year, is just the mental and emotional toll it's taken being so far behind and off pace. You know, that's hard for someone like myself to to deal with and accept, I guess.
Yeah.
More accept than to like deal with it and understand it. I don't want to understand it. I don't care. But it's hard to accept it in the moment when you're that far off, you know?
Of course. Yeah, I totally see that.
I mean, I was out there today at Paula just feeling like, you know, Ricky Bobby after he came back from his injury, dude. I'm like, holy shit, it's going to be a long Saturday.
Right. Yeah. I understand, dude. I've already talked about this 15 times this show, but I was at Paula a couple weeks ago at a race, and that was the first time I'd been on a dirt bike roll racing, and I don't think I've raced in 2 years, and it was like, oh, wow. Yeah, things have changed.
That was C-Class.
Yeah.
That was C-Class. Yeah. I had a guy that was like 300 pounds that I was trying to catch. I was like, what the hell? Go ahead, Scotty.
Hey, it's tough at any level you're at.
You ain't lying. You're not. Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah, man. So I've had a chance to meet you at one of the races, and you know you've always come across to me as a very chill and down to earth kind of guy, and I believe to be that open minded and that humble of a person that there's kind of a switch that has to be flipped in our brains to kind of have that to be that way. So I just kind of wanted you to know is there like a moment where you kind of feel that happened, or just, you know, at what point in your life do you feel that you kind of that switch flipped?
As far as like life humbling me?
In a way, yeah. I guess I'm trying to say that in a nicer way.
Yeah, well, I think that I come from a really small town and humble beginnings in the middle of Oklahoma, and I never really got any support or eyes on me really as growing up. And I was always really good on a motorcycle. So I think the switch flipped when I got in the B class to like go the other way, where I got confident finally enough to be like, no, I'm winning now. And then I think I turned pro with, you know, full of piss and vinegar, very, very confident. I mean, when I won that Supercross championship, I didn't even really celebrate it because I just assumed in my head I was going to win a bunch more, right?
Right.
And come to find out that didn't happen. So I think I've always had this like innate confidence in myself. I think I've had to move up along the ladder because I didn't have any real help to do that. So I think I've always been confident, but yeah, life does humble you a bit whenever you go through as many, you know, injuries and failure, I would say, my career, you know, looking back 10, 11 years ago, like I said, I thought I was going to have a very successful career, and I really haven't. So, not to say I haven't, because I mean, where I came from, how it happened. I mean, I wasn't supposed to be a professional for a decade and ride for all these incredible teams and win races and all of that. So I'm fortunate and very thankful for that. But yeah, I think just at the end of the day, understanding that your relationships with people and the people you care about and the people that help you and support you matter more than your results on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and I take my last breath, nobody's going to remember or care how much money I made or what I won. They're going to, you know, people care about how you treated them, you know, and how you handled yourself. So I think those kind of things, I think just my father, you know, he's to me the definition of a man. So I think I just learned a lot just watching growing up. So I think that's really where that comes from. But yeah, man, I wouldn't say humble is a weird word, because humble seems as if it should mean like you're meek and not very confident, which I don't feel I am. So I think what it boils down to is I have the understanding that I am just a normal person. I just happen to be good at something that other people can look up to that or whatever at certain stages, right? But I'm just a dipshit kid that just happened to be good at riding dirt bikes, you know?
Yeah. I want to step back to something you said a second ago about, you know, success, or, you know, how successful your career has been or whatever. I feel like somebody that's on the outside looking in, anybody that can, like you say, race dirt bikes for as long as you have and earn a living, okay, you're probably not putting millions and millions of dollars away so that you never have to work again, but you're earning a living racing dirt bikes at a very, very high level. There are guys, take a guy like Alex Ray, right? He's earning a living, but he's not at your level. He probably he would love to be at your level. You A-Ray's a great rider. You guys, anybody making night shows, making mains, making top 20 in outdoors are extremely talented, but you have been able to stay on teams and earn a living and do what you love. To me, that's successful. Yeah. Okay. You haven't won a 450 championship. How many guys actually have? You're very successful in my eyes. I was never fast enough to do what you do at that level or even close to that level. So, again, I think down the road, you'll look back on your career and be like, oh man, I was pretty fortunate. It was pretty positive for, overall positive.
Well, I think, again, that comes back to the perspective thing, right?
Yep.
I think if I were to walk away today, I could look myself in the mirror and say, well, we tried. I've done everything I could think of to try to make it happen and be good and be better. And the reality of life is not everyone's supposed to be the best at something all the time, Like, there's only so many Rickies and Jeremy McGraths, and that's okay. It has to be okay at the end of the day, because even people that are super successful, I mean, Ryan Dungey is one of the all-time greats, and he's back this weekend to race with us because, he's still just not satisfied. And
right. Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about all of us, our mindsets on this stuff to be successful. It's the beautiful thing, but it's also could be a bit of a detriment. It's hard to shut that off. But like I said, man, where me and Colt talk about it, like where the both of us came from, growing up together, racing every weekend, struggling to get by, and our parents, sacrificing everything they had to try to make it happen is, I mean, we weren't supposed to be champions and have careers that we've had and the success we've had. So I can't look at it from a negative standpoint and be, depressed that I didn't win a 450 championship or whatever, I mean, like you said, how many people really do? There's some of the all-time greats riders haven't, I grew up watching Robbie Reynard, who was one of the most talented motocross racers of all time as far as talent goes. And he never won a championship. He's a legend still, but he never won a title. So, at least I got a number one plate at the house, and, I have won a 450 race. And I think those kind of things in the moment don't mean as much because you're just in it, right?
Yeah,
you're just working. But later on down the line, that stuff, you'll look back and think about all you had to do to get there, and the work and the pain and the blood, sweat, and tears, literal tears you had to cry to get to that point. I think you can look back on that at the end of the day, as long as you do it the way I did it for me, which is, I packed up and moved across the country mid-season multiple times just to try to be better, and it's not like I pissed it away by partying and doing dumb stuff. I just had a lot of injuries and some tough breaks, but also at the end of the day, I'm fortunate and I'm grateful that I'm still out there giving her hell when I can,
Absolutely. I love your attitude, man.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny that you mentioned Colt, because that was my next question was, this is probably, I mean, everybody's going through hardships, but this season, the injury that he went through was probably one of the, well, he said on the show, it was one of the toughest things he's gone through. I just kind of wanted to know, like, some of the stuff that maybe you helped him with through that process, and maybe something you told him or something that you helped him with during that.
Well, with Colt, I mean, we've been pretty much best friends since we were, 5-6 years old. So he's been a couple years behind me with most things throughout my career. So he's got to see me go through it and deal with it. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of the same issues in the past, and I tell him, like, look, dude, this is what I did in this moment, and it either worked or it didn't. Either don't do this or do this, and I mean, he's kind of like my little brother that's not blood related, but as close as you could get. So I want him to be successful, and we never had an ego with each other growing up. We'd battle and still just get off the track and be friends. We didn't want to get beat by each other, but we could put that aside. And I think for him, just dealing with what he's had to deal with this year, unfortunately, I kind of get it, because I won my championship, and then the next year I came in hurt. I rode a couple of days before Dallas and had to kind of suffer through that season. And then I didn't get any offers for the 450 class the next year. And that's just the unfortunate reality of, you can win, and then if you're not winning the next year, you forget. Like last year, people forget, I think, already that Colt, the two people behind him in the championship were Jet Lawrence and Christian Craig.
Right? Yeah. No.
And
Colt,
he won that championship. Straight up won it. And those guys both have really good deals moving forward, and
right.
Colt's still trying to figure his stuff out. Just ill-timed injuries can really set the career off on a more difficult path. So thing with Colt is he's very I guess level-headed, so he can take those lumps and get through them without getting too down. Where I think in my career, younger especially, I was a lot more, I guess, emotionally invested in this stuff.
Emotions on your sleeve more.
Yeah, I care a lot about what I care about.
Sure.
And I show it. So
right.
Colt is a lot better at being consistent with his emotions. So he's better than me at handling those things. So
ooh, I am not.
I have no doubt that when he's back, he'll be perfectly fine and right back where he was. The hard part is convincing a team to give you that opportunity now, so I definitely feel for him there, but unfortunately I went through it and I told him my opinion on what he should do and how he should go about it. And, we'll see, but
see how it goes.
He's got good people helping him out too. He's got Jimmy Button's been my agent my whole career, and he's helped me through a lot of stuff, and Jimmy's helping Colt out too. So he's got good people to try to help him get it sorted. So I think he'll be all right.
I think so too. He's got a lot of talent. I want to ask you a question. You seem kind of down on your outdoor prep so far, but 2 Thursdays ago, I was out at Glen Helen about 3:00, and you were there until about the time I got on the track, and you disappeared, man. I feel like you didn't want none.
Well, obviously I saw you unload the bike, and I was like, you know what? I think I've had enough for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I was telling Scotty, like, I passed Shimoda and McAdoo two or three times.
And I said, what, in the pits?
While they were sitting beside the track. And I was looking for Justin, because I kept looking over my shoulder. I was like, I know Justin's here too. And any minute now, he's going to go like flying by, and I don't want to be in the way, especially over that blind hip jump that I think that's where you were throwing it sideways in some of those picks. I may be wrong, but I was scared to death that I was going to get landed on by somebody about 1,000 times faster than I was. But yeah, you disappeared, man. I came looking for you.
Hey,
you were gone.
You got to take those wins when you can get them. You got to be in it to win it, right?
Right.
If I wasn't there, you take the win. I mean, hey, it's part of racing right there. I will say though that I'm very ready to get back to Florida, back to 83 compound.
Right.
The Southern California motocross tracks it's manic, man. Like all of us were out at Paris the other day, and dude, you're battling with kids on 85s, and it's a little bit mental. I'm not a huge fan.
It blows my mind that they don't break them up. Like, I can't.
We hear those stories all the time, and I experience it in a very small way that Thursday, because it was late in the day, and there was 3 or 4 50s out there. There weren't very many bikes on the track when I got there. Like when Justin left, there weren't that many bikes left on the track.
Yeah.
But there was Shimoda and McAdoo and Bogle, and then there was kids on 50s, and there was me I'm going to kill somebody. I'm either going to land on a 50 or I'm going to get landed on.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's really, I feel you on that, Justin, because, here in East Texas, like, all the practices generally are organized after a certain point. Once there's a certain number of bikes, we're like, all right, we're breaking this shit up so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, and honestly, most of the tracks out here have pretty good vet tracks.
Yeah.
I think on the days where there's a lot of pros, it would be wise to have the little bikes ride the other track, But
I agree. I was terrified.
I'm not running it.
I was terrified because I hadn't, like I said, I hadn't been on a bike in 6 months, hadn't raced in a couple years, hadn't been on a 2-stroke since 06. And Kiefer, like, as soon as I landed, Kiefer was like, dude, we're going to Glen Helen. I was like, okay, this ought to go really well. And it really was.
I honestly don't know how. I mean, I could picture myself on an 85 at 12, 13 years old. There's no way I'm getting on the track with, Tony Caroli and Ryan Dungey out there, dude. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna do that. Like, nope. I'm terrified, but hey.
Well, man, I know you got a lot going on. I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, and I'm looking forward to outdoor. Oh, you got one more, Scotty?
Yeah, I saw on Instagram the other day your new start technique. You want to elaborate on that?
I didn't see this.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to get tricky when you can't just straight up win it. You gotta And that's motorsport, man. You can't win at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes.
Tomac did it in Arizona and it worked.
Yeah, dude. I mean, as long as they don't know it's coming, it's not a bad one. You can't use it all the time, but hey, sneak attack with it.
I'll have to go check out the Instagram. I guess I missed this post.
He flinched. He flinched and got everybody to jump, and it took up. Yeah,
that was great. I did see that. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Well, JB, man, I look forward to seeing you race, man. Stay positive, dude. I love your attitude. I love seeing you out there. I told you again, I have so much respect for the person that you are and the things that you say. So keep it up, man. I always enjoy talking to you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Anytime. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. See ya.
See ya. All right. That's Justin Bogle, man. I appreciate him coming on.
Yeah, Bogle's the man, dude. I love that guy.
He's just, I say this all the time. He's such a good person. He's got a great attitude. You know, you can hear that there's some struggles, and he's trying to figure out how to deal with them. But the way he looks at the struggles are very mature and very positive.
And I kind of wish next time we have him on, I'm going to try to do better about coming up with some different questions because I feel like when you talk to Bogle, it's easy to get into that talk about the ups and downs kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to constantly think that that's the only thing that his interviews can be about.
Sure,
because,
that's actually a good point.
Because he's such an uplifting person, and he's such a good motivator for our sport. And I think it's great that he's a part of Colt's program, and I hope that allows for more success for Colt to learn from what, people go through things and people learn from experiences. And I don't want to think that that's all his career is, because, I mean, the fact that, and I said that in the middle of his question, that the fact that he's still doing it, like you said, that's a success, and like I wish he would think of his career as more successful than he does, because the fact that he's still out there on a team that has factor support and he's doing it, that's successful.
I agree. I totally agree. I think it's hard to see it when, like he said, when you're in it and in the heat of it, because he expects to be up there competing for top fives, top tens, and when he's not, it's like you feel like a failure probably, and it's just not. I mean, that level is so high.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Troy Dog on, and we'll get the last guest on. We'll talk to him a little bit and call this thing.
That's not even the last guest, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We already did Bogle. That's right.
We already talked to Bogle.
It doesn't even feel like we did 3 already.
Yeah, we've done 4. We're going to 5.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
All right, hang tight. We'll be right back with Troy Dog, Troy Benjamin.
Dark Side.
Yes, I was calling for Ginger Dog. Is she available?
She's not. She's sleeping right now, man.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's a little late. It's 10 o'clock on your time zone.
Yeah, she had a long day with the kiddos. She's out of school for summer, so.
Oh yeah,
I'm back. Yeah. So, what's up?
Not much, man. Hang tight. We're live on YouTube, but we're not recording for the archive shit yet. So give me a second. I'll hit record. I'll introduce you, and we'll get going.
All right, buddy. Sounds good.
All right, boys. We are back, or boys and girls. We have ladies listening too, Scotty, but we are back with our next guest of the night. He's going to be brought to you by Fly Racing. Fly Racing has been developing and innovating its gear line since 1998. Fly Racing is the only choice if you want the best. Just ask current riders like Zach Osborne, RJ Hampshire, Damon Bradshaw, Justin Brayton, Carson Mumford, and many more. Check out your local dealership and ask for Fly Racing, as well as all of the endless list of products offered by WPS. Tonight, Fly Racing brings us Troy Dog. What up, dude?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
We're doing good, man. You have been whining and calling me out on Twitter a little bit, man, for my lack of kind of being an asshole, I guess, because I just didn't tag you. That's on me. It's not really whining. I get it. I just I have not been attentive enough to you, my buddy Troy Dog.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. So. I mean, remember the Pulp Show? That was a good call out too. So
yeah, you did.
I really just want to be noticed. I'm like that girl that like wants to be noticed in high school by her crush.
Look at me. Look at me.
What I mean? And like, I need to feel like you're on board with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I thought you see the news today on Twitter about, my rider announcing his team. So I figured that was like the biggest news of the day, and you want to get me on the show. It's a whole thing. So
yeah, well, yeah, I should have reached out to you. I had already had actually what I considered one extra person on the show already because of some scheduling issues. So then I was like, because usually I tell everybody that listens to the show, you probably don't actually listen, Troy Dog, but on Tuesday nights, I usually try to do 2, maybe 3 guests and get done because I then spend like 4 hours working on the wrap-up show. But tonight, there is no wrap-up show, so I had some extra time, which
absolutely
you got kind of lucky. But yeah, I still, I have been neglectful, and I apologize to my friend.
Hey, apology accepted. That's all you needed to do. And to be real, like, you know, if you want to grow, like your shows are just get longer and longer.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. TJ, you know, he's not in studio tonight. He's like, we should just do like let's go all night. Let's go till he'll be home from West Texas like around 1 a.m. He said, just keep recording until I get there.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Scotty, put the camera on me for a minute if you would. So, Troy, I'm sure you're not watching on YouTube right now, but this is the official Troy Dog.
Go closer.
Sticker right here, the pineapple sticker.
Oh yeah,
I got
one.
Yeah, I had to steal one from. I think it was actually Hard Dog. I think I stole it from. So
he just gave you one, huh?
Yeah,
just
that's
one.
all I got because I've asked you for some. You told me you were going to send shirts. You know, talk about being neglectful. I still don't have shirts or stickers from you.
You want to know a cool story though? Like
cool story, bro.
Over like 20 feet away from me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, so there's possibly something cool being designed. As we speak, but like it's on the computer. Like Ginger Dog's been working on it because she was so pumped to be on the wrap-up show, and that meant a lot to her. So
that's I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if I believe you, but I'm excited.
She's gonna hook you up, man. I told her like, hey, that's cool. Like he needs something. So
all right,
and I've been giving you enough crap that I think it's time. So
yeah.
Do you know how hard it is dealing with 4 riders? Like, my God, dude, you know how high maintenance they are?
Well, we just got done talking to Tony Alessi, and he gave us a little insight on how it is to deal with 3, but not 4.
Yeah, and I mean, Dozer just kind of stays in the woods and just 2-stroke things. So I don't even hear from Dozer. I don't even know what he's doing. But like the other 3, like, yeah, it's you got to be talking to them all the time and
keeping them positive, and they're fragile little flowers, right?
Sometimes. Yeah. Yes, you'll have that.
So tell us about this Hard Dogs deal. Grant Harlan, he's going to ride all the nationals?
Yes, he's in for all 12. He's been, since he parted with Ty Lube Honda in Supercross, he's been really, really busy putting this team together. It's like not even a team, but it's like his own little, his own little program for the outdoors. He's been committed to making sure he gets to all of them to finish this year on a high note. So he got together with the guys over at Merge Racing, and they're basically doing everything for him this year. That's what I've been told anyway. Like they're just, without them, he wouldn't be going racing.
Yeah.
And so I kind of snuck in there too. I don't know if you saw the pre-entry list that was released today, but the 13th rider down, number 65's got a cool new co-sponsor too. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. We had a little storm pass through today, and I've been dealing with down trees, and like I barely got into the studio. Scotty and I both got in pretty late to even get ready for the show. So I haven't done hardly any research today. So
spoiler alert, it's me. Yeah. So
I love it.
I'm on the pre-entry list. We're ready to rip.
That's
He's got
awesome.
me on his bike.
Hell yeah.
His helmet and his jersey. So like I'm all in.
What about our guy Chiz, man? Are you going to get on board with his program once he figures it all out?
So you know how he won that a fast lap, last lap thing?
Yeah.
So Wes said on the Pulp Show that, since he did that he would have to do at least 2 races with my logo on it.
Okay.
So like since the show, I've been like, hey Chiz, like if you want to do some outdoors this year, like I got you, but like from the fast lap, last lap thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think I've even been looked at yet. So it's back to preseason stuff for me.
Yeah. He leaves you on red, or leaves you not on delivered.
I think he turns off the receipt on purpose so I don't see him cry.
That's great. I thought about reaching out to Chiz for the show tonight, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait because Chiz is like, you can't have anybody else on the show when you talk to Chiz because he's gonna fill up the interview time.
And I mean, the door's open. Like, if he wants to join the squad full time, like he's best friend level, but he's not like squad level. So like, he's not on the team. So I can't promote him that much.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's my buddy. So
I love it, man. How much crap did you get from just listeners and whatnot from your travel experience to Vegas for Pulp?
Like everybody.
Yeah.
But I look back on it and it's like, had I not like, completely just ruined that whole day, like traveling, like I don't think it would have been as cool or as funny.
No,
so, like,
it made for a great story for the show, but for you, I was like, man, I felt bad. You missed out on a mountain bike, e-bike ride, and you missed out on a lot of the experience. You didn't get to ride in the ridge line, nothing.
I really wanted to do all that stuff
Yeah.
too. You have no idea how bad I wanted to. And
I do know.
But like at the end of the day, like I got like you spent like an hour on the wrap up show talking about it too.
Right.
And like you got Ginger Dog on and you got Hard Dog and Star Dog, and it was kind of a W for the whole program.
Sure.
Really.
I love that your wife came on. I was like, yeah, that's every day for him.
Yeah, and it really is. I don't know like highways around here, and I've been here 32 years almost. So,
right.
But like, to be real though, like I know, like I've been to the Vegas airport one time. I walked in the door to go home, like there you've been there. You go in the door and the drop off area, and there's just ticket kiosks. So like, do you go left or you go right? So I called Wes. I'm like, hey, do I go left or right? Because like, I was freaking out, and of course he made fun of me some more, and I was like, you know what, fine, I don't need you. So I went left, and it was the right answer. And then get this, I get to the baggage, you gotta scan your baggage through.
Yeah.
The machine stops working. My stuff gets lost.
Oh, wow.
I'm standing there for 25 minutes with my shoes off in this smelly airport, and like all these people are like that are wearing no clothes are like standing next to me, and I'm like, I'm gonna miss my flight. And so I grabbed my stuff once the stuff was through, and then my flight was postponed. So it all worked out.
It worked out perfect. It's funny, man. I've almost never had any issues flying except for going to Minneapolis for the haircut. I think that was the really only bad flight experience I had. Like going to Salt Lake or to California the other day, dude, like I think I was in line. That was the most people I'd ever seen in TSA, and it took like 15 minutes. And then it was like, oh, you don't have to take your shoes off today. Yeah, you don't have to take anything out of your bag. Just throw that in there. I was like, oh, this is easy. Right on through. And I was thinking, boy, poor Troy Dog. He'd probably still be trying to find the airport.
Yeah, I mean, I did get some good sleep, though. I slept through the whole red eye on the way home.
Wow. That's something I can't do, is sleep on a plane more than a couple minutes.
Yeah, and like the sushi wore off, and then the twisted tea wore off, so I was feeling like pretty poopy after that. Right? I was like, yeah, but it was fine.
All right.
Don't feel bad, man.
I didn't want to talk over you, but like tonight, like this is a world exclusive for you because no one knows it, but I'm adding a doggy to the squad for the summer.
Oh yeah, who?
So he's been hurt.
Okay.
And this dude, if I wouldn't be in the Verb squad. Like I wouldn't be in the Verb like Moto family if it weren't for this kid and his family. So like, you might not know him too well. He's a privateer by the name of Ezra Hastings.
Okay.
You heard of him?
The name sounds familiar, but yeah, I don't know him. I've never met him.
All right. He's number 251. He's riding 450 class this summer on a gas, and he's doing like 5 or 6 rounds. But he came back from injury, and he's just like doing it for fun this summer. So I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for his family, like taking me in back in the day and taking me to the amateur nationals. So, I mean, this kid was on a 50 then.
Yeah.
So, and now he's pro. So I'm just kind of doing it as like a thank you thing. We're just going to have some fun. And he's like sneaky fast. So
I dig it, man. I dig your passion for the sport and how much you try to give back. It's really cool.
Dude, I have a picture of his like old school, like just sitting there. I'm like 17, 16 years old, and his like little P-dubs behind me. So it's like a little family thing for me.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so that's coming.
What race are you looking forward to the most?
Nah, man, it's always Redbud for me, just because it's so close. And then
You get it twice this year too.
With the
donations, yeah.
Donations, yeah.
So for me, it's like I can only do one, and I've been wanting to do donations because I've never been to donations before.
Mm-hmm.
But Ginger Dog is like on summer vacation, so like I think it might just be the national. I might have to skip donations.
Oh wow, that's gonna be tough. I'll be at donations.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even if I was there, you just head nod me, and I just wouldn't even like be able to.
All right. Well, this call's over. Nice talking to you.
Oh. Hey, you know what though? Like, I don't think I would know where to go at donations because there's so many people. So it might be, you know.
I walked around that freaking place so many times just trying to figure out what to do, and like, a couple years ago, you know, the last one, I was just all over the place. Spent the whole day just walking around trying to figure out I bet I spent an hour and a half just trying to get an interview with Hurlings. I know it was at least an hour. Like I had to just wait, and I kept being told, 15 more minutes. He'll be out in 20 minutes. Hang on. And then finally they're like, come on into the RV. I don't know that anybody else even got an interview with Hurlings that day, but I did because I waited.
You paid your price.
Damn sure did.
No, dude, I know how it goes, man. When I'm new to all this, and when I was with Darkside a couple of times, when he wasn't there, I felt like a lost puppy, bro. I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Redbud, like it's kind of a home race, but like I mean, I love Iron Man. Like if I could go to High Point, I would. I love High Point. It's got good memories for me there.
Yeah, dude. What I'm finding out like is travel is so much more expensive than it was even a year ago. Like flights are ridiculous. I was trying to book a rental car for Lakewood, and like 2 years ago, I was spending $25 to $35 a day for a car. It's $130 freaking dollars to rent a car a day now, no matter what you use. Expedia, Enterprise, it does not matter. It's over $100 a day. Hotels are $200 a night. Flights are like $400 and $500 round trip. Like, how the hell can you afford to do anything?
It's on the budget, bro. It's not even gas. Like it's like, you know, it's gonna be rough.
Like TJ was like, well, just drive to Lakewood. It's only like 12 hours. I was like, do you know what it would cost to drive there? Cost more than flights.
Yeah, it'd be another $500.
It'd be like $300 each way in my Tundra.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When I went and got west in Illinois, it was $200.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I did get things booked for Lakewood, but that's not even show money. That was partly TJ because I'm going to help Doc out racing, and it's crazy what it costs. Our budget's gotten pretty small, and we really can't afford to go to the nationals that I had planned on going to. Sucks.
I feel that, bro, because like in the beginning of the year, I had some funds for like merch and stuff for these guys, and now I'm like, it's get a little tight, you know.
Yeah.
You get a T-shirt here and there, but
it happens.
It does. I mean, everything else gets more expensive, so you know.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
It's okay because all my, you know, I'm a co-sponsor.
There you go.
Like they're gonna be announcing me every time that he's on the line.
Troy Dog. I love it. I love it.
On a Merge Racing Short Dog Verb Kawasaki.
That's so great.
You know?
That's going to be cool to hear. I'll hear it at Lakewood, I guess, because that's probably the only one I'm going to go to.
Film it and you know, make a big deal about it because it's pretty cool.
We'll do it, man. Well, Troy Dog, we're going to wrap the show up so I can get done and I can have some dinner now. It's 9:15 and I'm hungry, bro.
No, totally get it, bro. I was, like we were saying earlier, like, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Keep calling me out, and I'll keep, you know, doing the hand on the face emoji. Sorry, bro.
Hey, you have every time I ask to come on. I've never been on a live show before, so I'm kind of pumped on that. But like every time I ask you to come on, you always say no problem. So
yeah, we'll make it happen.
It's just all in good fun, bro. I'm just messing.
I know it, man. I enjoy talking to you, and I appreciate your friendship, and look forward to seeing you soon, man.
All right, boys. Thanks for having me on, and let's go squad, huh?
Let's go squad, and tell Ginger Dog I said what up. Or,
oh my gosh,
what is Joey always say? How you doing?
Okay, yeah. I'll for sure do that for you.
I'm sure you will.
Dude, it's not just you, man. He's weird with everybody's wife,
not
bro.
Weird, man.
He's weird.
It's just being funny. Like I'm trying to.
It's
like. Do you think that Troy Dog really thinks that I'm trying to hook up with his chick?
I don't think
no, it's a joke.
It's just a joke that I called you weird.
Yeah,
See?
well, I am weird.
See, you could be. See, it's always worse on this side, man. You could be me right now.
Yeah, I told Kiefer. He left Monday. Kiefer left Monday morning before I did for Redbud, And I was like, all right, alone time with Heather. I mean, it's just a joke.
It's just, hey, you know,
until it's not.
And really, though,
See,
like,
then you say
Ginger
stuff
Dog
like
keeps
that.
me-
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Go
just
ahead.
like Ginger Dog keeps me like in line. Like I can't do anything. Obviously, like I
Yeah.
can't even travel or get to a flight without her. So like I
You
really
need
do
her.
appreciate her.
Yeah.
I do. It's been 12 years. I don't know what I'd even do without
That's awesome. I love it, man. It's really cool. So yeah,
her. Yeah.
hope to see you soon, and maybe someday I'll actually get to meet her face to face and say hi.
Yeah, and me. We've never met face to face either. So
That's right. I was thinking that we met at the thing at Oak Hill, but no, you weren't there. That's right.
no, we
Damn.
haven't. So yeah, just focus on meeting Ginger Dog and not me. You know.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. Who would you rather meet?
Me, CEO.
Okay.
All right.
I'll change. All right, you're my guy.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
Troy
boys.
Dog. We'll talk to you soon, man. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. Troy Dog, Verb Moto. Appreciate him jumping on. We're not talking about. All right. All I want to do before we go, give me your winners. 450, 250.
Winners?
Yeah, at Paula.
That's such a. It's.
Oh my
it's such,
God.
No. Oh my! Are you gonna let me answer or what?
I mean, sure.
It's such a. I feel like it's such a biased
We're only
track.
3 hours in.
Then don't ask me questions. You don't want answers. No, I really feel like it's a. I feel.
I don't know why that was so funny. Then don't ask me questions if you don't want answers.
Is that what I sound like?
Kind of.
No, oh my God. No, I feel like that track is kind of biased. Like it's really hard to say because of what people have done in the past or what they will do for the rest of the season. Predict because of that, because of the rounds. Those tracks are so biased because like everybody rides them, and it's just a weird feel. It's different than any other track on the circuit. But I will say that I feel like, let's see, I'm gonna take Hunter, and I'm gonna take Caroli.
Oh wow.
I think Caroli's gonna go like a 2-3 or something like that. That's
Okay.
that's my hot take.
All right. I got Jason Anderson and Austin Faulkner.
I wanted to say Anderson, but everybody's been saying Anderson, so I'm gonna go Caroli.
I got Jason Anderson and Austin Faulkner.
Okay.
All right. That's it. I want to thank Cherubies USA, Race Tech, Fly Racing, X-Brand Goggles, Works Connection, Torque One Racing, R Jerky, Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID, Shock Socks, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricant Oils, Power Band Racing, True Fusion Sports, and Grill Your Ass Off. We say it every week. It's very important to us that you support these sponsors. Use the discount codes. If you don't know them, email me or DM me or something, and I'll get you hooked up with discount codes. Grill Your Ass Off. Jason paid for my flights to California. We got to give back to these people. It means a lot to us for what they do for us. So support them. Go to our Patreon page and sign up if you can. We've had a few new subscribers to Patreon supporting the show. It means a lot. That money will be going to hotels and stuff, probably for Lakewood and covering that. So thank you very much for that. I want to thank our guests, Michael Mosiman, Nick Romano, Tony Alessi, Justin Bogle, and Troy Dog, all coming on. Scotty, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. That's whoa.
That's
what
the first
just
time. Yeah,
what the hell
I'm
just
tired,
happened?
Man. It's a long show. I'm tired. I'm
yeah,
thanking you
you're
for
hungry. You're delusional. I don't know what's going on.
It. You got anything to say before we go?
I was just gonna say
Don't care.
most of our guys stayed through the whole show. YouTube stayed involved.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It definitely adds another element, and I appreciate you guys sticking in there. Y'all are troopers.
All right. Yeah, we got a show next week. I think Jet Lawrence is in. We're trying to get him this week, and Mert said next week. So I think Jet will be on unless something changes. And maybe Bradshaw next week.
Oh, nice.
Trying to push a couple of the guys that couldn't do it this week to next, and I feel like maybe McAdoo also possibly. So if that's it, that's it. That's probably gonna be it because I'll be back to a normal schedule.
It'll be
I'll
interesting
be back to
to
a wrap-up show.
It'll be interesting to see how those interviews turn out after this. What happens this weekend?
Yeah, be cool to see. So hopefully those are the guys we're gonna have next week. We'll try to lock it in. But we're out. See you next week. Oh no! Oh shit! Are we still on YouTube?
Yeah.